Alrighty. There we go. Looks like it's working. What's up on YouTube? If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. Thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. It'll help get it out to more people. Let's get everyone joining up the stream. How's everybody doing? What's up? We got the stream fully set up. What's up, everyone joining in? Alrighty. How's everybody doing? Let me start the stream up here. Let me post this in the YouTube comments and let the Instagram know that I'm live. How's everybody doing? Hopefully everyone's having a good day so far. What's up? I am live. There we go. How's everybody doing? What's up? Let's get the debates going here in a second. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. What's up, everyone joining in? Doing good so far. Hopefully everyone's doing good. What's up, Livy? How you doing? What's up, Wyatt? Ready for some Parker debates? Based. You did so great on the face-off. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Alrighty, let's keep it going, everyone. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. Let's start getting the debates going here in a second. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? Okay. All right. Looks like they were just trolling. Midlife Maddie, thank you for the 5 membership subscriptions. Always good to see you. Thank you so much.
Sorry, man. Didn't mean to join.
You're good. Let's go on the next individual. Everybody, only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen.
Fuck you, nigger!
You're so disgusting. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 19. My birthday is October 6, 2006.
Okay, and if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Low-key Trump.
Okay, and why do you support Donald Trump?
Low-key, I support what he stands for, you know?
Such as?
Such as, like, deporting illegal immigrants. Not, like, legal immigrants, but, like, illegal.
Did you know that he specifically said he was going to look into denaturalizing people? Plus, if you want to reference undocumented immigrants, I would just ask you, can you name one reason why you'd want to deport those that have not committed violent crimes and bad crimes?
Well, they're entering the USA without a passport or citizen or whatever, green card, which is illegal. Low key equals low intelligence.
Okay, so just because there's a violation of the law doesn't necessarily mean that that violation of law is a negative impact to our society as a whole. So could you name one specific negative impact there is on our society for an undocumented immigrant to come to our country if they've not committed a violent crime or bad crime?
Population control.
So do you want to limit people from having children, or do you want to do any other mechanism of population control?
Shit, bro, you got me. You're good at this. You're really good at this.
All right, appreciate it. Let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria. If you're on YouTube, again, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
20.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah.
What's your birth year?
2005.
And if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Probably Trump. Life was just better overall.
Okay. And why do you support Trump?
Well, when Biden was in office, like, I spent $100 on filling my tank on my rusty minivan. That kind of pissed me off.
Okay. What did Trump do to lower the gas prices?
I don't know. I mean, they weren't as bad as, like, I guess under Biden or Harris.
Yeah, there's a 2-cent difference since last year. On average in the country.
I mean,
a 2-cent difference. So, one, there's not been much of a difference. Two, like, what did Trump do to cause that 2-cent difference?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention, but I just felt like life was better.
Okay, and what did Trump do to cause life to become better?
Yeah, kicking the aliens out of this country.
Undocumented immigrants. And can you explain to me how kicking undocumented immigrants out of the country has benefited our country?
I know you mentioned, like, why is it bad for the elite or undocumented immigrants who don't kill or rape and stuff.
Yeah, if they haven't committed a
Yeah, it's
violent crime or
not
a bad
bad.
crime, how do they harm you at all?
Yeah, I would agree with that, but realistically, you gotta take the majority, you know?
Why?
You can't realistically just pick, you know, kick all the bad ones out because it's just mixed. It's not realistically like it's
How is
not
that
real.
not realistic?
I mean, no, there are good like illegal immigrants in this country who don't do that, but
Over
if you want to
70%
kick
of
all the
over 70% of undocumented immigrants being detained by ICE have no criminal record at all. No prior criminal record. Did you also know that only 5% of those detained have committed violent offenses before? So the argument that you have that you want to specifically like make this country safer or better off isn't actually upheld by our current mass deportation process, because most of the time that they're spending is not on people who are actually a threat to the safety and security of our communities. So I actually think what you're doing is you're making our country less safe and secure when you're focusing so much time deporting good members of our community rather than focusing on the murderers, rapists, and the people that you put into the position in the Oval Office.
No, that's true. We should, you know, take care of our people here in the US first. But I feel like that would just take too much time, you know, picking like the rotten apples out of the batch, you know.
So you're saying it's
I
violating?
mean, I get there's good illegal immigrants here, you know, that, you know, just work and want a better life. But I feel like trying to just kick out all the bad ones of just I don't want to say it's too picky. I feel like that'd be too much hard work, you know.
It would be less work. Because we would be spending less of our time detaining and deporting people. What are you talking about? We would have to spend less resources doing that because only 5% of people who are detained by ICE have committed a violent offense before. So it would literally be less work, because instead of detaining 73% of people who have not had a prior criminal offense, they would instead be going through a quick legal process, a pathway to citizenship where they don't have to leave the country. Right?
I mean, yeah, that's a good point. But I feel like he's just trying to avoid like, you know, just like violent crimes on the spot, you know? Like what if bro like kills or shoots some random US citizen in the park just like walking, you know? I think he's just trying to avoid.
Undocumented immigrants are multiple times less likely to commit violent crime, drug crime, property crime in the country comparative to natural-born U.S. citizens. So why don't you ask this question about U.S. citizens?
I mean, there's more U.S. citizens than illegals. I mean,
I'm talking about per
yeah.
capita. I'm taking into account population already. They're multiple times less likely to commit these particular types of crimes, not nominally, taking into account per capita, taking into account population. So proportionally, each person is less likely to commit a crime than you.
Interesting. Yeah, I get what you're trying to say, but I mean, that'd be cool if we could just get all the bad ones out.
Okay, so then why
I
don't
mean,
we focus
I
on that?
honestly don't mind like the good ones that stay.
Oh, okay.
But
So then, why do you support Trump's process of deporting people when it violates the law to a greater extent, and it's deporting disproportionately a greater amount of people who have not committed violent crimes or bad crimes that are deemable of deporting someone?
I mean, if we could just kick out whatever you said, the 5%, the bad, you know, that would be nice. But it looks like the border is the only way right now. I mean,
That's not the only way.
I
just
can't
told you there
convince
is a
Trump.
different way.
I can't convince Trump to do anything. Like, you know, we can't.
You
but,
could have not voted for him.
Well, I wasn't gonna vote for Harris or Biden.
Why not?
They let the border wide open.
They didn't. Can you tell me what policy they passed to cause the border to be open? Thank you for the money on Smitty.
Have you seen that TikTok video where like Kamala's like
Kamala.
Kamala.
Kamala. You
It's
can
like,
just say Harris.
Harris, my bad. Was like, oh, we have secured the border, this and that, and then there's like a green screen behind her, and all these Mexicans are coming in.
One, you wouldn't be able to tell that they're specifically Mexican just by them coming into our country. Two, if you want to reference the border, I think
they look.
I think
They
that
look
actually
like
at
dark
the end
skin.
of
They're coming through the border.
well, okay, so yeah, just because someone is darker skin doesn't mean that they're Mexican.
I mean, a good chance they were Mexican. A good chance.
What's your evidence?
I mean, they're coming from Mexico. I mean, their skin's dark.
Most people coming into our country who are undocumented actually are not Mexican.
Well, I mean, I know a Mexican when I see one.
Okay. Why are you saying this?
Because you said a lot of them weren't Mexican, like some
I'm
aren't.
saying
And
that you
yeah,
wouldn't
some
be able to
aren't.
make that determination just by looking at this particular thing based upon the idea that they had darker skin. That's an absurd talking point.
Wait, why are we talking about Mexican or just like
You brought it up.
specific illegals?
You brought it up. And I'm just telling you that you don't have a basis for that. So it sounds like you're trying to associate that to be like a bad thing, that people are coming to our country. And again, in this context, again, there were actually less people coming to our country or crossing the border at the end of the Biden-Harris administration compared to the end of Trump's first administration.
Well, I feel like just getting all the bad illegals out and just limiting the chances of bad crime happening would be nice.
So then why do you support a president that pardoned violent rioters who beat police officers and committed those violent and bad crimes?
Wait, who beat them?
Yeah, Donald Trump pardoned violent rioters who beat police officers and he called them patriots. So he released them onto the street after they committed violent and bad crimes.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know where. I haven't really heard of that yet, or whatever.
Well, it's true. It happened.
Interesting. Well, let me see. Yeah, I don't know these crimes here. Illegal immigrants.
Yeah, do you want to like actually engage with what I had to say? Like, again, you haven't really indicated that Trump's policies are better off here. If anything, this conversation has indicated that Trump is releasing violent offenders intentionally into our country.
Oh, I thought he's putting the border up. So how is he?
Because again, he pardoned violent rioters who beat police officers and he called them patriots. So he actively and intentionally released violent criminals into our country.
Well, if he's putting the border up, I mean, that's going to limit risks of any more illegals coming in.
Undocumented immigrants, again, are proportionally less likely to commit these violent
Undocumented
crimes.
immigrants of coming in to, do that to our cops.
Oh, wait, undocumented immigrants weren't doing that to our cops proportionally. They're less likely to do so by multiple times.
Oh,
Okay.
you're saying U.S. citizens are just doing that?
Yeah, U.S. citizens disproportionately are.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel like there's more U.S. citizens in the U.S. than illegal immigrants.
How many more times do I have to tell you that it's taking into account population? Do you know what per capita means?
Population, there's more Americans in the U.S. than illegals.
Yeah, that's why we use per capita. Are you trolling?
No.
Okay, well, that's sad.
It is sad that, our cops have to deal with that.
It is sad that you don't know what per capita means, that you don't know that's taking into account population.
Yeah.
Okay, how many more times do I have to tell you this? Because again, why aren't you sitting here saying that like maybe we should stop having kids because that's going to increase the nominal level of crime?
I mean, I feel like a lot of people aren't having that many kids these days.
So we should have less children because, again, they are more likely to commit crimes in our country. It's going to increase the nominal level of crime. And if you don't have children, well, this crime would never happen in the first place.
I mean, that's not realistic either. You can't make a law where we can't reproduce.
No, I'm not even talking about the context of a law. I'm just saying, and by the way,
I mean,
actually,
having kids
technically,
isn't morally
technically they have
wrong.
those in countries around the world. I'm not talking about that. The point I'm talking about is, again, you would at least make a prescription that people should not have children. So would you at least make the prescription yourself that you should not have children when you're older?
I mean, no, I'd like a family.
Okay, but like again, that would increase the nominal level of crime in our country if everyone were to do what you do.
I mean, it's not
when you have
guaranteed my
children,
kids
it
are
will
going to be
increase crime.
criminals.
Well, no, it's proportionally the case that if you increase the amount of population of natural-born U.S. citizens, that will increase the crime overall. Oh, but like you don't think that's wrong? So increasing the nominal level of crime is not indicative of like something bad happening or the country being less safe?
I mean, sure, you could say that. I would agree with that, but that's not realistically going to happen. I mean,
Okay.
people are still going to have kids.
And realistically, people are going to still come to our country. We just want to provide a quicker and legal pathway for them to come here.
That'd be nice, a quicker way, yeah, but I mean, if
Republicans
people
aren't
are
advocating
cutting
for that.
corners. People are like cutting corners and like bringing coke and drugs and
You can't say that on
criminals
the
in.
live. I have to go to the next person. You can't say that on TikTok. That's gonna limit the live from being pushed out. Let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We're just looking for some debates, everybody. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, Daddy Parker, I love.
Here, Evan, I need to turn my AC on. Give me 1 sec. I'll be back. 1 second. Sorry, it's getting really hot up here. It's getting really hot up here. I apologize. I'm back, everyone. Let's keep the debates going. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
54.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
Is there a way you can get close to your microphone? It seems like really quiet, actually.
Let me switch it up. Hold on just a second. Okay?
For sure, for sure. In the meantime, Emily, thank you so much for the $10. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Emily. And Nicholas, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $20 as well. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Get some W's for both of them in the comment section. As well as Ali, thank you so much for the $10. And Creed, thank you for the $4.20. Thank you very much.
On an earpiece, so I'm
And Valerie, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Get some W's for Valerie if they're in here. Thank you so much. W's for Valerie as well. Thank you very much. Alrighty, you there? Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I do hear you now. Alrighty, it seems like they're having some technical difficulties
How
with the
about now?
audio.
Can you hear me better?
Yep, I hear you now. Okay, so if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Can you hear me better?
I'm sorry, Danny. I am going to try to go into the next person because it's taking a little bit long here for you to get your audio set up. You're always welcome to come back into the box, and we can have a conversation as soon as you get your audio fixed. Oh, let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
38.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes, I do.
And if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Donald Trump.
Okay, why do you support Donald Trump?
I guess basically his economy policies.
Okay, like what economic policies?
I guess he's trying to shut down the border and the tariffs are helping us.
Okay, so shut down the border and tariffs. So can you tell me what a tariff is?
I guess it's a tax. Okay, I haven't looked this up. Okay, it's a tax on, I want to say like imported goods.
You're
That's what I
right.
want to say.
You're right. Who do you think pays that tax?
I feel like, okay, and I may be silly. I'm gonna be honest. I don't keep up with all this kind of stuff, but it feels like maybe we all kind of pay it, but maybe it like rounds out and everybody wins or something, like, right? Like that feels right.
Okay, so it's paid by the American business importing the product, and it's passed down mostly to the consumer because it's an aspect of cost of production and distribution. It's not something placed on like the profits they take out of the business. So that's why it's going to put upward pressure to a greater extent. And plus, there's also not a progressive bracket system. Like, for example, with corporate tax or with income tax, we have a progressive tax structure. So the more income that you're referencing, the greater percentage you pay on that greater level of income that is coming in based upon a bracket system. But since tariffs don't have that bracket system, it impacts people that were not paying taxes prior because of standard deduction. So people who do not have enough income in order to pay taxes on it under our current system. But now they will because tariffs have increased. So what it's doing is it's shifting the proportionality of taxes from those that are higher income disproportionately to those that are lower income to a greater extent.
Oh, okay. No, Trump, nah, he said. Okay, come on. Like he said, right? Like he said it. Like that he was gonna use the tariffs to give us these tax cuts and everything like that. Like he said it. Like you can't argue what the president says.
Yeah, he said he was going to give you tariffs for these tax cuts, but that's him lying because tariffs are a tax increase. We've already established that in this conversation, right?
How is it a tax increase? I'm struggling to understand. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds to understand.
Yeah, the definition of a tariff is that it's a tax on imported goods. So if you
Right.
increase tariffs, you are increasing taxes on imported goods. And that affects consumer prices. Everyone buys consumer goods. So even people
Okay,
that are
so
not being
if they're
taxed,
getting taxed more, then it feels like we should be making more. Like I'm really not understanding where you're coming from with this at all.
what do you mean?
Like if they're paying more, we should be making more, right? Like if they have to pay to do more in our economy, it feels like that we would be receiving the benefits of that, right? Like that just
Who's
that
paying
feels
more?
like math to me. I'm learning math.
Who's paying more?
Um, well, I wouldn't think it would be us, right? It's not us, right? Like somebody else has to pay more to give us their goods, and that way we're making more money off of taxes, off of what they're selling us.
So
Right.
you're thinking that the foreign country is paying the tariff? No, it's the American business importing the product, and it's passed down to the American consumer. The foreign country is not paying it. Now they might try to compete to a greater extent, so they could try to eat some proportion of the cost, but it's not going to be able to be a high proportion, right? And even so, that would entail that it would be all profits, and in this context, there's not very much. What does increase profits, though, would be reductions in competition, because that would allow for them to increase the price without losing market share. But because there is, a
Hold on,
global
wait.
market, there's a
That
high level of
last
competition on a global stage, meaning that they don't really have the ability to like do that based upon profits as much as American firms with less competition due to the tariffs being imposed.
Okay, I'm trying to understand all this. Okay.
Okay.
I'm working on my slow brain. Okay, let's do fast brain stuff. Okay. Parker, I am trolling you, man. Who could support
had a
this
feeling.
dude? I wasted your time.
I had a feeling. Let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. It'll help get it out to more people. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
You're just so cute.
Okay. Alrighty, let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo, it was good. 18.
Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
And if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
Okay, and why do you support Trump?
Because I think Democrats are idiotic and annoying.
What's your birth year again?
2007,
And what month?
August
And you said you're how old again?
17th, 18.
Okay, for sure. So you said Dems are idiotic and annoying. How so?
Because like you, I went to Charlie Kirk's debate to surprise debate him, and then you weren't even like sad after he passed away. Like you made a fake reaction. You're just like corny and idiotic.
Was that like
And
supposed to
you're
be rage bait or
immature.
something?
No, it's just honesty. He said you're
Okay.
immature. He would never debate you again.
Okay.
I
Okay,
just
so
think Kamala's a terrible person.
Who's immature? The person who came up on the live trying to say that someone didn't have a real reaction when something traumatic happened, right? Or the person specifically that did have that response and that reaction to something that clearly was traumatic.
The surprise debate was never going to be tough, bro. You like actually thought that was cool to do.
Yeah, like
You would have lost so fast too.
name one point he ever beat me on.
All of them.
Be specific. Name one.
I don't know any.
Surprising.
I just know he owned you. He was your daddy.
But you can't mention a single point he beat me on.
I just
embarrassing.
also support Trump because he just lowered the gas prices. It's so butter.
Yeah. Can you tell me what he did to lower the gas prices?
He lowered them. He just said, I want them lowered. So then they were lowered.
Is this you trolling?
No.
There's no way you're this dumb, dude. He just said that they should be lower and they went down. That's not how it works. Okay.
Yeah,
By the
it
way,
does.
you understand that it's only 2 cents lower since last year?
No, mine was like $100 to fill up. Now it's like 40 at Maverick.
Yeah, I understand. You're thinking of in like 2022. Okay.
No, I'm thinking of last year.
Yeah. No, last year, if you look at average gas prices, according to the Energy Information Administration, there's only a 2-cent difference.
Actually, dang, that's tough, bro. And I just think illegal immigrants are annoying.
How so? Sounds like you think everyone's annoying. We think you're annoying. You know that, right?
No. It's just that, like, they come here, they just make everything expensive.
No, they
We
don't.
have to pay for all their stuff.
No, you don't.
Yeah, we do.
No, what do you have to pay for?
Every time I go to the doctor, it's more expensive because those bums can't pay for their stuff.
Actually, the average American can't pay for the stuff that they need, and that's why they have vast levels of medical debt. And no, it's not because undocumented immigrants are getting access to care. That's obviously ridiculous to say that the higher costs of of healthcare are related to undocumented immigrants. It has nothing to do with that. There's no evidence of that. You couldn't provide a single study. You don't base what you believe on evidence. You base what you believe based upon your fifis, your feelings.
Beefies? That was kind of tough.
Well, it's true. It's just you believe things based upon feelings and not evidence.
No, I have tons of evidence. I just can't find it right now.
You just can't find it. I don't
Yeah,
think
I
you'll
don't
ever
have
be
my
able to find it.
PC. No, I could.
Then tell us. What's the evidence?
I could, but I can't right now.
Why not?
Because my computer's not next to me.
Why don't you go next to your computer?
I don't want to.
Oh, lazy?
No.
It sounds like you
I
are.
just really think you're immature and arrogant and cocky and
You came on my live stream saying that my reaction was not legitimate and was bullshit in a situation that
It
was
was.
traumatic to me. Yet you're going to say I'm the one that was immature?
yeah, you were.
Yeah, how so?
You and Dean hitting your vapes. It's so tough.
It's an anxiety pen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's an anxiety
An
pen.
anxiety pen? That's not tough, bro. It is a vape.
It's an anxiety pen.
Show me proof. Show me proof.
It is a
Where's
goddamn
the
anxiety.
evidence?
I can't show it on the
Where's the
stream. It's an
evidence behind
anxiety
that?
pen.
Oh, where's the evidence behind that little baby?
Well, I don't need evidence to show you my anxiety pen. It's not allowed on the stream.
What? How's it not allowed on the stream? Because it's a vape?
No. It's an anxiety pen.
Show me proof.
I can't.
Where's the evidential proof? Pull it up. Pull it up.
It's TOS, bro.
TOS, that stuff. Pull it up right now.
It's TOS, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can you give me one of your fake reactions again? Those are tough. Because you would have got fried in that debate anyway.
You couldn't tell me anything I specifically lost on. Sounds like you're the one getting fried, buddy.
How does it feel that he called you immature? He would never debate you again. The goat himself called you that.
It feels good because I know that he was like actually scared of debating us because he knew that if he did debate us that we would gain so many followers that it would hold back his own movement.
He was the goat.
No, he wasn't. You sound like you're trolling, dude.
No, I'm not. I'm dead serious.
Okay, then what do you mean by quote unquote he was the goat?
He just owned everybody. Just
Name
daddied everybody up in the
name one
arguments.
point he beat anyone ever on.
I liked his points about. Let me try to think. How Michael Jordan's the GOAT. That was a good point. Let me try to think about
that was an atrocious point.
How? You'd
Yeah,
say
dude.
number one.
Michael Jordan is not the GOAT. It's actually LeBron James.
Oh, you were corny.
I'm not, dude. Did you just see what LeBron did a few days ago? He's postering people at age 41, dude.
Oh yeah, I just really think you're corny. That's also another reason I don't vote for Democrats.
Well, I mean, I think you're pretty corny, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
I think
Because
Kamala's a
instead of
terrible
actually
person.
giving me any arguments, you've given me nothing but just straight up like random talking pieces. Like you're not even actually giving me an argument.
Kamala.
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 Okay, fine. I'll just say Harris.
Harris.
She slept for her position. I think she's a terrible person.
Her name wasn't Trump, right?
What?
Yeah.
No,
Trump
she
and
did.
Bubba. Did you ever see that in the emails that dropped?
No.
Yeah. Who's
No,
Bubba?
they were chat. They were chat.
If you want to talk about sleeping your way
they were
to the
AI,
top,
buddy.
and you're gonna believe things based upon random claims, well then why don't you believe those?
Because they were AI.
Oh, okay. They weren't AI. They were released it from the Epstein
Where's the
estate.
evidential proof? Show me any evidential proof.
It's from the Epstein estate, given to the House Oversight Committee.
You're based all upon evidential proof. So pull some up right now.
I just told you where to find it, genius.
Pull up your vape too.
Okay, I'm just gonna go to the next person. I don't think you
Go
can
corny.
actually engage with an argument. I don't even think he had the ability to. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. Thank you everyone from joining in from Dean's stream. Good to see everyone. Good to see everyone. Thank you for joining in. Yeah, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 18.
If you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Can I ask you a question real quick?
I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, chat. Does anyone remember this? You are not back. Do you still support Trump?
Hell yeah, of course.
Why do you support Trump?
My hero? Well, because he put, he's more likely to be conservative, right? That's what he will pass policies that are more conservative, and I am the highest IQ conservative.
Yeah, what conservative policies?
I mean, it'd probably be any typical I mean, I'm anti-abortion, AB, if you could say that word, anti-gay marriage, anything you'd associate with a conservative.
Wait, what's wrong with gay marriage?
Marriage, should be between a man and a woman.
Why?
Because they are the genders that would produce a child.
Okay, so if you can't
reproduce,
reproduce with someone, then you can't get married to them under your view?
No. What I said was man and women can reproduce. Therefore, marriage should be a system that's set up so men and women can be together.
Not all men and women can reproduce. So what's your point?
Yeah, but only a man and a woman can reproduce. So the exception doesn't disprove the rule, Parker.
Yeah, so if you're saying, if you're making a claim that particularly in general, right, that they can produce children means that a relationship with them would then be justified. Can I ask you a question? Do you think
Ask
oral
me three
sex?
if you have to.
Do you
Ask
think
me three if you have to.
Do you think oral sex is wrong?
No, not inherently.
Does that lead to reproduction?
No.
Okay, so engaging in actions that
Well, I
don't
don't
have
know.
a majority
I'm
of the
an
circumstances.
incel, so I don't know.
You're an incel?
Well, yeah, I'm an incel, so I just don't remember.
I can tell.
But no,
But
it doesn't.
The point that I'm making is that most circumstances when you engage in oral sex, well, actually all circumstances, it doesn't lead to pregnancy.
You're echoing, Dean.
It doesn't.
How would this disprove my point?
Because you said if you engage in an action in which most times does not lead to reproduction, then it's going to be wrong if it's relating to the context of marriage, sex,
I did not
things
say
like that.
I did not say that, Parker. That's a straw man. What I said was marriage, the concept of marriage is a social construct. It's created for one of the main purposes, for reproduction, for legitimacy of your children, your heirs, all that. Men and women can reproduce. Therefore, the rule should be men and women should get married. You want to debate AB now, buddy?
Wait, how about this? Would you say it would be wrong to marry women that were born without a uterus? Because most women women that were born without a uterus, you can't have a child with them. So are you saying it would be wrong for them to get married?
You stuttered, and you just made the same point. You said, okay, not all people can get pregnant. I said the exception doesn't disprove the rule.
Yeah, but this isn't an exception in this case because for everyone specifically who's born without a uterus, who's a woman, they won't be able to give birth.
There's still a woman, and you stuttered, bro.
Yeah, but you're not understanding. The point is that for this particular group of people, right, it is the case that you will not be able to have a child with them through the context of intercourse. So would it be wrong to engage in a marriage with that particular person?
Okay, so
Can I bring up a point after this as well?
Yes, absolutely.
total straw man's. Just you keep bringing up what if someone can't get pregnant? It's once again, I said the rule. The only person that could get pregnant is a woman, and right, the only person that can get her pregnant is a man. Therefore, we created marriage as a good reason to keep together families, and families are good because I'm a conservative. Any other topic you want to go to?
You didn't really respond to my question there. Like I said, in the context of the particular relation between someone who is born without a uterus, right, and someone who's biologically male, do you think in that context that it would be wrong? Because again, no one specifically who's biologically a female born without a uterus can actually have children.
Well, I'm not saying it'd be right or wrong, dude. I said it shouldn't be legal. Anyway, so whatever this point is,
I wanna make a point.
It's moot.
You know what another rule is? Another rule is that.
Let's hear Dean Withers.
Is that Thorkus? Been a while. Didn't miss you.
Didn't
miss you, Thorkus.
I go like, wait, I gotta get the camera on.
Okay. Anyways, another rule is once cis women go through menopause, they're infertile. That's another rule, right?
You guys keep bringing up that like this is irrelevant to the question.
No. Can we just agree that that is a rule?
That women lose fertility?
Yeah, when cis women go through menopause, they become infertile.
Oh yeah, that's very true.
Okay, all right.
But
So that's not. I just want to
clarify.
clarify now that that's not an exception to the rule. That is a rule in of its own. So therefore, would you argue that, like, for instance, my dad, who got remarried to a 60-year-old woman a couple years back, that had went through menopause, should not have legally been allowed to marry her, since in all circumstances, this all-encompassing rule, when a man will marry a woman who has been through menopause, they will not be able to produce offspring.
Okay, yeah. So and once again, it just doesn't. The points you're bringing up just don't make sense because one, I'm a high IQ rationalist, but hold on, I'm getting phone calls. I'm getting sabotaged.
Marcus, you know that he completely debunked you there because that is you just said that you only could dispute it because it's an exception, but this would be a rule. So you just say it's wrong to marry older women that have hit menopause.
This is like seriously. This isn't like an exception to the rule.
You guys are low IQ.
This is the rule. No, listen to me, Thorkus. This is the rule. We agree. It is a rule that
and you know who else rules?
Cis women go through menopause, they become infertile. Therefore, in all scenarios of like older men marrying older women, they're not going to be able to have kids. That's a rule.
You want to know what also is a rule? That Trump supporters aren't smart. That's the rule.
Bro, you're
because
I know you guys are making wait, give me like
Thorkus, I think you're the lowest IQ conservative I've ever debated.
Whoa. I'm the highest IQ conservative, handsome, freaky, I look good, and I'm the best. Let me make the point. Let me make the damn point. Is that so crazy? In a debate I could talk?
I don't think you can make a point, but try.
All right, let's hear. So what I said was we created the social construct institution of marriage so we could keep families together. Men and men could never make baby. The men and men cannot reproduce, right?
Man and woman who's gone through menopause cannot reproduce. We should exclude them from that.
No. That's not what I'm saying. Right? The concept of marriage it's for man and woman to have baby. Just because the woman gets old and then even the man gets old and they can't have a baby eventually. I wouldn't care if 60-year-olds couldn't get married that much, but that's not even what I'm saying. It's not even what I'm saying, Dean Withers.
Wait. I just genuinely don't get it. If marriage is all about reproduction, then why don't we just fucking only allow individuals who can reproduce to get married? Like that seems like it would follow, no?
Because that would be okay in legal. Listen, let me educate y'all a little bit. In the law, you have to make rule. It's generalities. Law, we can't be precise and nuanced with every single damn law.
So then men should not marry older women because in general, older women once they meet a certain age aren't fertile. So given that's the case, then you would say wait, because that's a general. No, it's not. No, it's not. You have no response other than just to say it's low IQ.
Okay.
Because it is.
So can we agree that 90-year-old women are not fertile?
Well. What about the one that got pregnant one time? That's how you guys operate. You low IQ.
Wait, you said general, not exception. You said general, not exception, right? You said rule, not exception, right?
Yeah, girl, I did.
Oh, okay. So if we're gonna reference rule and not exception,
woman-
well
a
then
woman
doesn't that
hits the
logic
menopause,
wait?
it always happens.
Doesn't that logically
No, it
entail
doesn't.
that you should not be able to marry older women?
Okay, let's go around. Okay, we're going in circles. Why did we create marriage? Dean Withers and Parker get a job.
Well, I don't think marriage is only when you have children. I think people specifically, again, all right, marriage is not defined by having children. There are many couples that do not have children that I think still
Okay.
have a legitimate context of marriage.
Obfuscation. Why did we create
Let me ask you this
marriage?
question: if everyone on the
Why-
if everyone on the planet became infertile, would it be immoral to get married?
If insane hypothetical happened that changes the entire course of human history, would I be right? Dude, you're... Oh my God, they're gotta be fucking with me. They gotta be fucking with me.
Using the original intention for marriage as an argument for what the legal bounds of marriage should
I
be.
was no, I just asked.
Because you agree that, like, why did we originally create marriage? Like a union for life, right? Would therefore imply that if we are to assume that the motivations for marriage should define the legal parameters for marriage, that it should be illegal to divorce your partner?
Holy fuck, bro! Like I don't know what to say, Dean Withers. You're going schizo on me with these points.
Don't say that.
Say it one more time. Oh, I won't say that. I'm so sorry, Dean.
I'm not Dean.
Oh.
If we are
okay.
to say
Like,
that
okay.
marriage A serves the intention of bringing two people together for the purpose of reproduction, then
I'm
why
not-
don't you B, defend the premise that marriage should only be legal for two people that should be able to that can reproduce with one another, and C, why don't you add an addendum onto the marriage contract that if you sign this contract, you are pledging to have children?
Fuck you. Hold on, I got another call. You said, why don't you apply to the contract? What? I heard everything before that.
Would you agree, right, that we should add an addendum to all marriage contracts in America that upon signing, the two signees are contractually obligated to have children?
No.
So therefore, you think individuals should be able to get married and not be obligated to reproduce?
As a general heuristic, do you know what that word means, Dean? It should be man and woman because that's the equation that creates child, right? We have a marriage for heritage.
No, that's actually
we gotta
not. That's
pass our
actually not true.
property down.
That's not true. That's not the equation that creates children.
Wait,
No.
What? Okay, so wait, man and woman doesn't equal child?
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't. That's not necessarily implied.
Or are we gonna debate gender ideology? Because that's a wife with.
No, I don't. I listen. I'm assuming your definitions of man and woman. It still doesn't necessarily imply children. So if you want to say that x plus y equals z, then can we agree that you're arguing that x plus y necessarily equals z?
You are getting. Do not take this to fucking philosophy. I'm saying.
Dude, no. Come on. Answer my question. When we say 2 + 2 = 4, we're not saying that 2 + 2 generally equals 4. We're not saying that 2 + 2 sometimes equals 4. We're saying that 2 + 2 necessarily equals 4.
Dean.
So therefore,
legal system.
Answer this question. So therefore, right? If 2 + 2 wasn't always equal to 4, then 2 + 2 would not equal 4. Correct?
Has baby ever been made without man and woman?
Answer my question. Answer my question.
Has a baby ever been made without a man and a woman?
Answer my question. Please answer my question.
I'm not getting trapped by a low IQ trap. This is slander. No, I'm not. You're saying because a man and a woman don't always make a baby. Is that the point you're trying to make?
Because man and woman don't always make baby. That therefore,
Yes, but baby
man
always
plus
comes
woman
from man and woman.
Let me
Baby always comes.
Would you agree that hydration always comes from water?
Yes.
Oh, so therefore, like all water is going to give you hydration. Like fucking drinking seawater won't kill you.
I guess.
Can you get hydrated from seawater, Thorkus?
No.
Exactly my point. So although water leads
so.
hydration, not every time you drink water will you become hydrated.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So although man and woman can lead to baby, not every time you take a man and you take a woman,
You're trying to
you
logic
will
bro me.
equal
You're trying to logic
child.
bro me right now.
Yeah, and you're getting cooked.
No, you're not Dean Withers. No, I'm not Dean Withers. You're actually doing too much. Like, let me get the fucking camera on. I'm gonna tell your ass a thing or
You
two
don't
about
even
fucking
have
politics.
the ability to turn your camera on, bro.
Surely I do.
No, you don't.
Surely I do. Because you don't want to get mobbed.
I'm gonna go
No,
and
you
drop
like
it.
literally don't have the ability to.
Oh,
I'm
so,
gonna go and drop it. Anyways,
debate.
Thorkus is just
Holy duck,
weird.
holy duck. Quack, quack. Am I right, chat?
See ya.
That was
No,
embarrassing.
let him get off.
See
He
you, bro.
needs a drink. He needs a drink. All right, Parker.
Yeah,
you
it's
want
like,
to do
no to
another
deal with
topic?
you.
I'll debate you on any topic. I'll let you
You're
know
gonna
what I
lose on
did.
any topic.
Well, here's the thing. You guys bullied me off the platform, and I said, you know what? I'm never losing a debate to Dean and Parker again. So I studied Parker.
So
get a
you
job.
admit that you've lost debates to us?
Yeah, in the past, right? We all. That's name a great man who never failed. Name a great man who never fucking chipped up every now and then. You know, it's it's character development.
Do you believe in Jesus?
What? What does that even mean?
Are you Christian?
No. Agnostic. Oh, you want a philosophy?
Yeah, I was about to say name a great man that's never failed. I was about to say if you believe in Jesus, well, that would be true. But yeah, okay. Well, you failed every single time you came up on my live. So what's gonna tell you that you're gonna do any different now?
Holy slander! That was last year. I was
And
when
you
I wasn't.
and
You
you
know,
got cooked. How does it feel?
I didn't get cooked. It was
You
like
did.
an even sparring match. It was
No,
an
it
even
wasn't.
sparring
You
match.
got cooked.
And everyone, the whole chat agreed. I was looking good. I was making good points. But
No,
I
the
couldn't
whole
bring
chat
it home.
agreed that you're ridiculous.
I couldn't bring it home. Dean Parker get a job. But
Yeah.
all right.
So
What do you want?
Thorcas, give us an argument. Give me a single reason why you support Trump.
Like I said, the conservative policies thing. I want to debate my conservative ideology. If you want
Yeah,
to
go ahead. Tell us what conservative views do you hold to?
You want to
Again,
debate
the one you brought up earlier
AD?
already got debunked.
No, it fucking didn't.
Yeah,
it
did.
didn't.
You gave no argument.
It's a heuristic.
You gave
legal.
no argument as to why gay marriage should be illegal, because I gave you a basis for that. That it would entail that it would be the case that you'd have to make it illegal to marry older women who are infertile.
Oh my God. Okay. With legal systems, they're heuristics, right? They're not. It won't apply to every single case because it's a law. It's a human law. We can't fucking make things perfect. However, the concept of marriage, we created it to pass on we need to pass on our property, our money, and we also need to repopulate the fucking country to grow it because I'm against mass immigration. Right, guys? Who's
Why?
with me? Oh man, because they're not assimilating.
What does that mean?
They gotta, speak English. They gotta worship Jesus Christ if
No, we
they
don't.
worship anyone. I think they should.
Wait, you said worship Jesus Christ. You don't even do that yourself.
Well,
Yeah. As an agnostic,
Well,
you're saying that they need to worship
all of-
Jesus Christ. That's an embarrassing point of view.
it's not.
And also, did
Well,
Jesus speak English?
religion's for the low IQ. And that doesn't
Religion's
matter.
for the low IQ, but if they come to our country, they have to be religious.
Well, it's for the moderate IQ, the average.
Wait, so to
I'm
clarify,
really
you
high
only
IQ,
want wait,
I
so
don't
to
need-
clarify, you only want low IQ individuals to come into our country?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay, so then
when I
you
say-
don't
'cause
want them to
my
be
IQ 's so
religious under
high,
your
I'm the
view.
highest IQ when you're the highest IQ conservative, you can't go anywhere but down. You get what I'm saying? It's like 130 is low to me. Tight shit, tight.
Okay, if you think that you have over a 130 IQ, then I'm sorry. That is just the most embarrassing thing I have ever seen.
How when I cook you and Dean Withers, who are professional debaters, by the way, on a nightly basis. It's going to be a
Marcus,
nightly basis.
I don't even think I have a 130 IQ. I think that's a pretty high IQ. I don't think you have anywhere near a 130 IQ. I think your
I'm glad you
IQ
think it's high.
is
I'm glad you think
maximum
that's
room
high.
temp.
On God, you're weird. On God, you're like, bro, slander.
I'm saying
At home?
it's maximum room temp.
Ad hom? Question mark?
That's not an ad hom. I'm just telling you what I believe and what's descriptively true.
If you believed that was an insult, it would still be an
It
ad
wasn't an
hominem.
insult. It was just a
It would
description
still
of
be
reality.
an ad hominem. Spell
Dude,
ad hominem.
I am telling you, it's a description of reality.
I'm gonna let that one sit because that was fucked up.
Oh,
You're supposed to be a role model. You're supposed to be a role model, but you won't even debate. Instead, you're gonna slander.
I've debated you already and debunked you on every single one of these
I
points.
had
You
to
haven't
learn.
told me anything. You seriously have yet to tell me anything. You said assimilate, but then
I spent
again,
a year knowledge maxing. Oh yeah, they need to assimilate because you need to speak the same language as your neighbor in case there's
you don't.
disagreements. Yeah, you do.
no, you don't.
If you can't speak to your neighbor, how the fuck are you gonna get on? How will we fix political division? You're a part of this, by the
Hey,
way.
dude,
How do we fix?
You have Google Translate. We live in a modern era. You can translate.
Oh my god, yeah, it totally helps you pick up on tone and
And by
that's
the way,
such a nonsense.
do you always interact with your neighbors? I don't think that you have
Hell
to interact
no,
with your
hell
neighbors.
no, they're weird. They're
I have a
weird.
question. Do you think specifically people who don't speak English, right, do you think that they shouldn't be allowed to live in your neighborhood?
I think a nation should speak the same language. Yes, I think that's
So
so that would
everyone
imply
within
my
a nation
neighbors.
should speak the same language?
Yeah, they should try to at least or learn it.
Okay, so then can I ask you this question?
Ask me 3, because I'll debunk them all.
Okay, so you're saying in every country we go to, you should only speak one language. Okay, and if you lived for people who live in Canada, do you think that there shouldn't be any people who only speak French?
That's Canada.
Wait, but like I'm just asking you.
Holy
For example,
man.
for Canada, do you think that there shouldn't be any people in Canada that speak only French?
Canada's a lost cause. Why would I care about that? I'm talking about the USA.
No, I'm asking you.
Conservatism.
I'm asking you. If you were living in Canada, right? What would you
Mhm.
say should be the context? Should it be that only people speak English, or could you say that there could be multiple different languages that are acceptable to exist within a country?
Well, it's funny you bring up Canada because you're implying they are a multilingual society.
Yes,
but it's
they
a
are.
shitty society because they're lib to hell. They're left wing liberals, and I don't like it. Forkers
but
don't like
I'm just
it.
asking you a very clear and basic question, right? Can multiple languages exist within a country, and can that make
Not
sense?
a good one. Not a good one.
Yes, a good one. It can exist. So I have a question. Do you think that America, the United States, is the best country in the world?
Fuck yeah.
What makes us the best country in the world?
You can go by like our capitalism's pretty crazy. We have the top 10, I don't know how many of the top 10 companies globally. I love the founding fathers. They were awesome. Constitution is I think it's the longest standing document, right? That a country uses to govern. That's pretty based as fuck. I also live here and I was born here. I fuck with it. So that's 3 reasons. Did I cook, chat?
You gave 4, but you can't count, so I wasn't expecting that.
Whoa.
Secondly,
what are these fucking slights?
Secondly, if you want to look at capitalism, we do not have the freest market. Countries around the world have
I
more
didn't say we
economic
had the
freedom than
freest
we have
market.
here in the
I
United
did not-
States.
Oh, no,
so
no,
if
no,
you
no,
want to
no, don't
reference
do that
just
to me.
capital, let me please
Do
finish.
not do that
If
to
you want to
me.
reference
I
just
did not
capitalism,
say that.
hold up. Can I please finish?
What did I say? Do you even remember? I said we're the top 10, like 9 of the top 10 companies globally, or like at least a good majority.
I have a question. You said that only good countries, right, speak one language, correct?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do we speak multiple languages in the United States?
Are you reading fucking Discord?
And I'm asking the question: Do we speak multiple? Do we speak
Holy
multiple
shit, he's
languages in the United States?
Is Dede texting you? He's got a drink in
I
his hand,
asked
send
you
him
a
pumpkin
question. Can you
coffee
answer the
points.
question? Do we speak multiple
Definitely.
languages in the United States descriptively?
Of course, yes.
Okay,
We
so it's
always
not a
have.
good country.
I said we should learn. They should try to learn the English.
Wait, no,
so it
hold
will
up.
be a good country.
Stop. You literally just said.
Oh my
Wait, you just
God.
said that if there is multiple languages
Bro,
spoken in
why
a
are there
country.
10 Canadians
Wait,
in
listen.
chat?
Listen, if there are multiple languages spoken in a country, that it's not a good country. There are multiple languages spoken in the United States, therefore it's not a good country under your view. So not only is it not the best country under your own worldview based upon your own reasoning there, but it's obviously ridiculous you don't use that reasoning. Secondly,
Hell no.
right, if you want to look at the Constitution,
Bad
Donald Trump
point.
himself called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution, and violates constitutionally protected rights.
Dude
to a
is
greater
reading
extent.
GPT. You're reading fucking ChatGPT. You're weird, dude. Nah,
Dude,
this
I
dude's
literally
got better-
debunk him so bad that he thinks I'm using AI.
I'm watching your eyes move across. You're looking at
Because
the
I have
side.
2 monitors, and I have the YouTube stream, the TikTok stream. What are you talking about? And I also have people who
Oh,
are sending me
brother.
donations. Like, for example, Benjamin, thank you so much for the $1. I really appreciate it. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
now we go-
Paige
now
with the
we go, how you get
$4.20.
money.
Thank you so much,
Bro,
Paige.
you're weird.
Benjamin, thank you for the
You're weird.
$25 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Benjamin.
Yeah,
Madeline,
good
thank
money,
you so much.
actually.
Really appreciate the $1. Alan, thank you for the $1. Jeanette, thank you so much for the $4.20. Sarah with the $40 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Rockin'
I appreciate it.
libertarians
Thank
here,
you.
not the
Emily, thank you for the
libertarian
$10. Thank you so much. Tammy, thank you so much for the $2. I really appreciate it. Daniela, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $10. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Pedro, thank you so much
What
for
a
the $1.
capitalist. What a
Rachel,
greedy
thank you so much for the
capitalist.
$5. Thank you so
You
much, Rachel.
fucking- you're-
Grace, thank you for the $2.
You're stealing money
Deja,
from the people.
Deja, thank you for the $11. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Kendra, thank you for the $10. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Oh my God,
Thank
bro.
you so
That's
much.
getting flexed on.
You got to convince Cadence. You got to convince Cadence for sure. D Dunn, thank you so much for the $5. Maddie, thank you for the $20. Thank you so much, Maddie. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Get some W's for Maddie in the comment section right now. Thank you so much, Maddie. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Some W's for Maddie in the comment section. Libby with the $25 for steal more of my money. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Libby. Can we get some W's for Libby in the comment section right now? Thank you so much for letting me steal your money. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. ESK, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $2. Thank you. Evelyn, thank you so much for the $10. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Andy, thank you for the $3.
Do I look good?
Rufus, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $5. Thank you so much. Madison, thank you for the $20. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Madison. Again, thank you so much. Jen, thank you for the $6. Nailed it. Thank you for the $5. Andy with the $8. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for quiet incel. Thank you so much, Feisty. I really appreciate the $10.
I am a self-proclaimed incel involuntarily.
Call me Maple. Thank you so much for the $50. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Include some W's for Call Me Maple in the comment section right now. Thank you so much. Maddie, thank you for the $5. Madison with the $10. Sam, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Brenna, thank you so much for the $1. I definitely will. Effie, thank you so much for the €10. I nailed it again. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the $2. Thank you. What's up?
You're a greedy capitalist, and you just treated these people with disrespect, and you're disrespecting me as a man. You money maxing on me.
Andy, thank you for the $3. Tara, thank you so much for the $2 for please stop. Don't take my money. Winnie, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. Andy, thank you for the $3. Lily, thank you for the $3 for being a greedy capitalist. Thank you so much, Lily, for supporting the greedy capitalist on the stream. Thank you very much. Shelly, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much just to piss off the guy. Maddie, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much, Maddie.
I get a cut of this. I get a fucking cut. Give me a fucking 10% realistically. You know?
Nope.
Fuck. He's getting rich off my fucking name, dude. This is
you can cope, Thwarkus. You can cope.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with you, Thwarkus.
6'6", by the way.
Spider, thank you for the $2. Thank you. Do you want to respond to any of my arguments, buddy? You got cooked. How does it feel?
Were IQ. They were non sequiturs. They were straw man.
Wait. I proved under your own perspective that America is not a good country under your own view.
No, you did. First of all, you took a little. I said the greatest countries have a national language. That's my point.
Wait,
that's my position.
we don't have a national language. Therefore, we're not a great country.
English is the Constitution is written in English. Parker,
that doesn't mean it's the national language, dude. That's ridiculous. Andy, thank you for the $8. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for fucking incel. Sarah, thank you for the $20. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Sarah. And cool. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the $10.
Dude, I get that $20. You come on. If you really think about it, if we're being fair, if you're a really communist,
not give me shit. You didn't give me shit.
You used to be a communist, didn't you? I remember. You were a commie. You went on Jubilee talking. I'm a commie. I love communism.
I never went on Jubilee saying that.
Well, you said you used to be, and I was like, this fucking guy. You know, he's grifting. He's grifting the liberals. This is what he's doing, you guys. He's a commie in disguise. He's Hassan Piker, but less charismatic. He's trying to steal. He's trying.
That was embarrassing. You said wait, dude. What, dude? Thwarkus, is this the best you have, bro?
He's stealing. Fuck, hold on. He's fucking trying to make you guys.
You think I'm a communist?
Oh, you're a liberal grifting communist in disguise.
A liberal grifting communist. Oh my god, look at this grifting communist on the stream. Oh my god, look at Parker get a job, the grifting communist. Thank you so much. I really appreciate Rodney with the $10. Thank you so much. DRG, thank you so much for the $5.
Thank you for the rose.
Joanna, thank you so much. I really appreciate the membership subscription. Jack, thank you for the $10. Cassandra, thank you so much for the $2. I really appreciate Chase. Thank you for the $5. Thank you so much for the greediest man alive.
Ice cream so good. All right, bro. Are you trying to fuck?
My name is Parker Get a Job, and I am the greediest man alive. To the outside world, I'm a normal debate bro on TikTok, but secretly, with the help of my friends on the Parker Get a Job stream, I can spread communism to the world around us. I steal money from people on TikTok, and I grift harder than anyone's ever seen, and I'm the only one that can grift enough to stop the conservatives.
Thanks for the SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Thanks for the SpongeBob. Thank you, Jerome.
Yeah, dude, new intro for the Parker Get a Job stream. Parker Get a Job, the griftiest man alive. Dude.
bro.
Lily, thank you for the $3 for adding to the greed. Kaya, thank you for the $1. Really appreciate it. Kayla, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. Eli for the $5 for you greedy communists. Natasha, thank you so much for the $15. I really appreciate your liberal grifting donation.
Shit,
thank you so much. I really appreciate
You
it.
just made
Sky,
my
thank
whole
you so much for the
shift's worth in
$15. Thank you, Sky.
45 seconds,
Maria,
dude.
thank you for the membership subscription. Done. Thank you for the $10. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Parker,
Thank you.
How do you feel that me, an actual American who works hard, I create value, I create shareholder value, you're over here fucking just stealing money from the people and you're not even redistributing it? Tell me that. Tell me how that's relevant or how that works at all.
Shelly, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. And Kara, thank you for the
Do
5
I
as
look
well.
good, chat? Do I look good, chat? Do I look good, chat?
Why are you just randomly saying this, dude?
Y'all lucky. Because that was my best quote when we used to debate, dude. That shit was viral.
Dorcas, didn't you tell me that you were going to create an account and be bigger than me?
That is what I said when I looked.
Wait, no, I remember this. You said you were going to have a bigger platform than me. Do you remember that?
I will.
Susanna, thank you for the $20. Thank you so much for Comrade Parker. Thank you.
Is there not future still? Is there not still future?
Hey, dude, I thought you were going to start going live. What happened?
Well, dude, okay, you gotta understand, with a guy like me, I got priorities, right? I got priorities. You know?
Priorities to get dog walked. Not only priorities to get dog walked in the debate, but also to completely deflect away constantly without actually engaging with any of the arguments I brought up.
Little bro, I cannot wait. You know, you just inspired me because you just created your fucking arch enemy. I already was your nemesis before, you and Dean. It takes two of y'all to take me. Nope, pause. Yeah, but once I fucking grow, you're gonna be regretting saying that, and you're gonna be like, "Damn, maybe I should grift conservative now because Thwarkus is doing so good. He's got fans, and he looks good too doing it." It's like, fuck. God.
Dude, Thwarkus, you're so cringe. Would you like to actually give me? Let's hear an argument from you. How about this?
Yeah, any topic you want, little bro.
Okay, any topic? How about this? Can you name a single economic policy the Trump administration has influenced to get passed that benefit the middle class more than it benefit rich people?
No, because I don't care. I'm an ideologue. I don't care about fucking economics. What do I look like? What do I look like?
So you can't. Can I ask you this question?
Word salad question.
If Donald Trump called for the execution of his political opponents, would you still support him?
What?
Yeah, if Donald Trump called for the execution of some of his political opponents, would you still support him?
No. I think murder's wrong. Murder is wrong.
Okay, so if I showed you a tweet of his reposting someone saying H-A-N-G them, George Washington Wood, you would stop supporting him?
Did he? You said if he did assassinate versus whatever the fuck that.
No,
was.
I said if he called for the execution of some of his political opponents, would you still support him? And you said no. He did call for the execution of some of his political opponents. Therefore, you don't support him.
Read the tweet.
Yeah, it was he reposted someone saying H-A-N-G them, George Washington Wood.
Oh my god, he reposted. Oh my god, this is what these libs do. They do this little Twitter game. If you reply to one right winger, you're now a Yahtzee. Oh my god.
Yeah, if you repost someone saying H-A-N-G them, George Washington Wood, you would say that's calling for that. Not only that, but he also said that they were engaging in seditious behavior that he said was punishable by death, and that was his own tweet. Sam, thank you for it.
Once again, that's not a call to. He didn't. Even if honestly, I thought you were gonna come to something better than that. Like he reposted something.
You want me to show you the video?
Actually, yes.
This is a video of that Dean made that shows everything. I got you.
You're gonna make me.
Greatest thing of the galaxy. Thank you. Yes, you do have to watch Dean. How does that make you feel?
Scott, I used to be a Dean Withers fan, but then he started.
You
he
still
stopped
are.
Gripping,
You
stopped
still are a
selling
Dean
courses.
Withers fan.
He stopped selling courses at me.
Yeah, I know. You wanted to live that E-Roach lifestyle. The Gambler, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
The E-Bible?
I know that you wanted to live that E-Rich lifestyle.
Well, I'm just a humble, I'm a broke incel, and that's just how it's gonna be for life.
E-Rich lifestyle.
Play the
love it. Gotta love that E-Rich lifestyle, right?
Did Parker just self-proclaim incel? Clip it. Clip that.
Did I self-proclaim what?
Incel.
That didn't even make any sense.
You just said you were one.
No, I didn't, dude. What are you talking about?
Oh my god, bro. Dean, bro, I mogged the fuck out of Dean. Don't I, chat?
It's so embarrassing. Shut up.
of the United States of America, Donald Trump, is now demanding the execution, more specifically the hanging, of any
Oh my
Democrat
God, a
urging our
sensationalist
military
Dean
to
video.
ignore any
He's pretty good at this.
unlawful order given to them by him. I can't believe
I'm not in
that
love
this
with
is
Dean
a real
now.
video. I never thought I would be reporting this headline in my life.
Thank
and
you,
just to
Phoenix.
clarify, you heard me right. If you want members of our military to honor their oath and uphold the Constitution, then Donald Trump wants you dead. So here's everything that you need to know. Donald Trump posted this on Truth Social. He responded to a post published by the Washington Examiner titled, "Democratic Veterans in Congress Urge Service Members to Refuse Unspecified Unlawful Orders," by saying that this is really bad and dangerous to our country and that their words cannot be allowed to stand. He then followed that up with a second post that reads, "This is seditious behavior, punishable by death." And then he reposted a comment that reads, quote unquote, "Hang them, George Washington would."
What the
This is the most dystopian thing I've ever seen. Donald Trump has become...
Jesus, I can't believe he did that. You just changed my entire mind. Not? It's a tweet, bro. Grow up.
So this is what I mean. You'll support him no matter what, Thorkus. You don't have an actual argument. You just said that you wouldn't support him if he called for the execution of some Democrats, and then now that you've heard that it's actually applicable to him, you've now changed your mind, backtracked, and then said that you still will support him even if he calls for the execution of some Democrats.
It's not. That is not a direct call to execution.
That is
It's
a
not even
direct call.
It's not even
That is a
by an
direct call.
individual. It's not even addressing an individual.
It is. It was Democratic veterans. It was Democratic veterans in Congress that posted a video talking about how people shouldn't follow unlawful orders.
He's saying they're traitors, and that was punishable by death. Not a direct call to violence.
And then he literally reposted someone with a direct call for violence,
It's
saying HANG
problematic
then George
at most.
Washington
It's
won.
problematic at most.
Wait, I have a question. So would you be okay with me reposting someone saying that about some Republicans?
It'd be problematic.
No, would you still support me?
I would if I were not voting Parker for president. God forbid.
No, would it be reasonable for people to still support me?
Right. Yes, absolutely.
It would. So if I was calling for your execution, you'd think it'd be reasonable for the chat to still support me?
That's a jump. That's a jump. If you said Republicans,
Thorkus, if I reposted someone that called for your execution, would you say that that people would be justified in the chat and reasonable for still supporting
me?
me?
Why wouldn't I switch up on you? Why wouldn't I switch up on you in that scenario?
No,
but
listen.
if you called for someone, if you directly called for someone else's death, I would definitely think it was pretty problematic.
Yeah, but would it be reasonable for people to still support me?
I think it would. I don't think words. Yeah, no. I don't. I think it would be reasonable.
Okay, it would be reasonable. So if I reposted someone calling for reposted someone calling for Thorkus's death, he thinks it would be reasonable for everyone in the chat to stay in support of me.
That's a totally different argument, dude.
How
like
so?
I said, it would be problematic if you called for my death. And once again, Donald Trump didn't call for an individual's death. He said a broad
called
statement.
For Democratic.
He said a broad hyperbolic.
He called for Democratic veterans that were specifically posting this video. He called for their deaths. That's why Mark Kelly had literally death threats and people come to his house and things like that after this happened.
Oh, brother. Yeah,
oh, you can't accept reality?
Whoa, no, I didn't say that.
Thorkus, you're a little coward. You are a coward because you can't be truthful because you can't stand up and be truthful to yourself for the betterment of the country. That's why you're a coward.
Think about
you
check this out.
scour in fear of accepting the truth.
Holy slander. Thank you for saying that.
You cower in fear instead of accepting the truth.
How am I cowering in fear, Parker?
Because you won't accept the truth when it's blatantly obvious in front of you.
Because
you can't acknowledge when you're wrong.
If I was supporting you and you did the same thing he did, I would not. And if you had better policy than the other candidate, and I thought you were going to make the lives of Americans better based on your ideology, I would still vote for you.
Yeah. So again, wait. So do you think Democrats would be justified in supporting Democrats that call for the execution of some Republicans?
I would say it's problematic, but I wouldn't say.
Would they be justified in supporting them?
I would say it's problematic. Now, if they actually do it or someone actually does, I think you could have a really good conversation about that. But this whole they tweeted a vague thing, a vague death threat. Yeah, I don't know. Like people, you guys were celebrating.
By the way, he thinks it's totally okay. You think it's totally okay for the president of the United States to retweet death threats?
Dude, half your fans celebrated Charlie Kirk dying. We're gonna forget about that.
That's the one. That's not true. Two, if you want to reference
remember
this,
that shit.
again, there's not a
made
single
me upset.
Democratic member that was running for the position of presidency that celebrated it, nor advocated for it, nor said that he deserved it.
Democrats would be entitled to supporting their Democratic candidate who might be a little problematic with his tweets. Are you happy? I'm still consistent. There's no inconsistency.
There is, because earlier in this live, you said that you wouldn't support Trump if this were true about him. You heard that it was applicable to him,
I did
and then
not
you
say
still
that.
decided to support him.
I did not say that.
What? Put $100 on it right now. I'll play back the clip of you saying it. Put $100 on it right now.
Ooh, should I put $100 on a chat?
You won't.
No, I might have slipped up then. My bad. But play the clip. But play the clip. I want to still see.
Wait, no, you won't take the bet because you know you're wrong.
Well, I did just say that. Yeah, I said I probably did misspeak then. I didn't mean to say that. Okay?
Dude, that's rough, dude.
I'm just nervous in front.
You're nervous?
No, I'm actually not, because I know I can beat you on every single debate topic. Pivot here. I don't care.
Dorcas, you've lost on every topic we've brought up.
No, yeah, well, obviously you would think that.
Any reasonable person would think that.
That's just like a what fallacy is that? That's appeal to fucking something. Y'all know what.
Appeal to something.
What is?
Dorcas, you have honestly gotten dumber since the last time I talked to you.
Like, do you actually mean that, bro? Or
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I actually think that.
That's kind of. I mean, really, dude?
I didn't think that could happen.
This is slander and hateful, really. I mean,
okay, sue
like,
me.
Should I?
Go
Could I
for it.
sue Parker?
Try it.
No, you probably have good lawyers. Oh, God.
I don't even have a lawyer.
One day, just let me talk for 30 seconds. One day, I'm going to show this world that a conservative debater like me can overcome the odds. I don't have to play second fiddle to Dean and Parker and Harry Schnitzen. I'm gonna become the better debate bro. Honestly, I'm going to leave it at that, Parker. Go debate your next guy, because we got a lot more to coming up, and I got to use my camera for it.
Run away, coward. Run away, coward.
No, well, no, I'm staying. All right, I'm staying. Debate me, bro.
Well, you got dunked on too many times. You were just about to walk away.
Oh, my God, bro. I got to go to the function. There's a function tonight, Parker. Do I skip the function to debate you?
Dude, there's no function. You're an incel.
I'm an incel, yes. But I can still go. I can still go to the function. I won't get laid.
You weren't invited. You can't be just like showing up to events like
I'm
that. You weren't invited.
6'6". I'm 6'6". I look good. I'm jacked. I mean, they're gonna let me in.
Thorcus, one, you're not 6'6".
We proved it on a live. You can look up.
Yeah, you're
Thorcus
6'6" if you put in stuff in your shoes to make yourself taller.
How much fucking shit would have to be in my damn kicks, Parker?
Did you get the same? Did you get the same surgery? Did you get the same surgery that Clavicular's trying to get?
Clav did.
Dude,
No,
you gotta try and make yourself 6'6" with a surgery.
He's not getting it anymore. He's not getting it anymore.
Oh,
He already looks too good. Clav, by the way, clip that one.
That's
tell
embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
Wait, you don't like Clav?
No, dude.
Why?
Of course you would like him. I mean, he's taking METH because he's quote unquote Aryan maxing. Okay. Yeah. Do you realize how stupid that is?
Oh no, I saw him say that. It's just funny hearing Parker get a job say that.
Dude, he looks he looks like 28 years old, 30 years old, and
He
he's like
looks
19.
Mogs.
He's like
Clavicular
19 years
mogs.
old, dude.
All right, guys, I need you to clip this and have it the clavicular talk, because I'm about to debate him on clavicular. Wow, he should be a clavicular fan.
That's embarrassing, dude. Thorcus, you're saying
Does
this
he
just because
look good? Does he, Mog?
Thorcus, you'd go on
Does
the
he look
stream
good?
and you'd be like,
Yeah, he look good.
chat, rate me. Clavicular, please rate me.
That was before clavicular, by the way. Like, you can't act he just blew up, bro. You acting like that wasn't before him. I was the OG clavicular. If anything, he looks up to me. Yeah,
That's
you know
what
what?
you did.
Fuck
That's what you do.
clavicular. Fuck clavicular while I'm at it. You don't look that good. I look better. But
He joins the live. He's like, hey, chat, what can I do to looks max?
No, it was pre-looks maxing. You're remembering wrong. But yeah, bro, I mean, clavicular, he mogs, so how can you not like him? And he was right. He ascended.
Dude, this is so embarrassing, dude. This is actually embarrassing. Okay. You need to stop this right now. Like genuinely.
Bro,
This is why you're
stop
an incel.
believing the
This is,
truth.
hey, Thorkus, this
What's
is
wrong
why
with
you're
that?
this is why you're
Wait,
an incel.
what's wrong with being an incel?
What's wrong with being an incel? Well,
Yeah.
what's wrong is that you're taking
Yeah.
out your hatred specifically on women, right? Or
No, I didn't say I
because of the
hated
fact
them, I
that you
just-
are
I just-
lonely and isolated because no woman wants to be with you.
When did I hate on women? I mean, I probably would if you asked me enough questions, but
Dude, okay,
when did I do it in this
you
life?
literally made my point for me.
What are
You just
talking
said you
about,
just said I
bro?
might do that if this happened. You understand? And by the way, Thorkus, how do I know that you hate on women? Because I've talked to you before.
What did I say that was hateful to women? Oh my
Thorkus,
God, dude.
what are you talking about? You've come
Are
up on this live stream denying, right, the essay that Donald Trump is engaged in. You understand that, right? Like multiple times.
I ain't talking about that, dude. You're trying to pivot. You're trying to pivot. Why are incels bad?
What'd you say?
Why are incels bad?
I just explained to you. Could you not track the conversation? Maybe you need to IQ max, bro.
What if
Maybe
what
you
if
need to
I
critically
did
think
IQ max?
bro.
I did IQ max. I told
Not
you
very
I
well.
spent a year studying. I spent
well,
a
you,
year
yeah, you hit
studying.
you hit your max IQ at room temp.
Yeah, room temp in a room full of geniuses, man.
Yeah. IQ maxing isn't gonna go very far for you, bro.
You don't even understand what you're saying. You don't understand rhetoric. You don't understand logic. You're a communist in disguise. Remember that whole talking point? I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
you
Chad.
keep calling me a communist, but you don't even know what a communist is. Can you define communism?
I'll use your Jubilee definition because I studied, boy. You
Oh,
guys
go ahead,
didn't
tell me.
study? You think I didn't study?
Go ahead, tell me. What is communism?
A moneyless, classless, stateless society, said by Parker on Jubilee, June 24th, 2024. I remember the day. Look at him grinning. He's keeping me from the function, chat.
I love that you're a fan, that you remember every single one of the definitions that I said.
Well,
it's great.
I had
And
to
I bet that's
study.
when you first learned what communism is. Now, based upon that definition, I'm not a communist. Okay, I'm not advocating for a stateless, moneyless, or
Were
classless
you?
society.
Were you? Were
No.
you one? Were you one?
Was I in the past? Yeah.
So you were in the past a communist?
Mm-hmm.
Say it, the sentence.
I was in the past a communist.
Oh, clip that, chat. Exposed.
Exposed. Wow.
I am good.
You know that in the past I used to be a Trump supporter too?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How long was it? Pre-communist or post? That'd be. I don't know which would be weirder.
I was a communist after being a Trump supporter.
Okay. No, you were probably a vague Trump supporter, like your kid as a kid or something.
Yeah, I was
Like
in high school.
You're just a boy, and you're like, yeah, bro, Trump.
I had more coherent responses than you, though.
Dog, you don't. I promise. My
Dude,
rhetoric's better.
I genuinely think me as a 13-year-old would have better responses than what you've done in this conversation.
No. A
Like
13-year-old
genuinely, would have had better arguments. Yeah.
13-year-old Parker gets mocked by me just as 22-year-old Parker does right now.
Why are you talking about mogging 15-year-olds? That's really weird.
Oh my God, bro. technically, when you were that age, I
Wow,
was that
dude.
age.
Wow,
Technically,
dude. That's
when you were that
crazy,
age,
bro.
I was
That's
that age.
crazy,
When
dude.
you were that age, I was that
That's
age.
so
When you were that-
unhinged, man. Thorkus,
Wait,
what are
Parker,
you doing,
did you have
bro?
girlfriends in middle school? Did you have girlfriends in middle or high school?
I actually didn't have a girlfriend in middle school.
Incel. Get some bitches. What about?
Don't refer to women as quote unquote bitches too.
That's-
Just because I didn't have a girlfriend in middle school doesn't mean anything. Like I don't know what argument you're trying to tell you. You're in college and you still are an incel.
What about high school? What about high school? What about high school? What about high school?
I had a girlfriend in senior year of high school.
How old was she?
How old?
Was she? Yeah.
Probably like 18.
Oh, okay. That's a cop out. I know they started dating like junior year, and he's rounding up.
No, it was senior year. I actually didn't date anyone until senior year of high school.
Would that make you an incel until then?
No, it wouldn't have made me an incel because it wasn't voluntary, or it was voluntary. Sorry,
So you wait. You voluntarily wanted to do what?
I voluntarily didn't get with anyone at the time.
Didn't. Okay. Get with that. Who's anyone? The high school girls? You freak.
What?
My bad, dude. My bad, dude. Let's get out of here. Let's stop.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard you say.
What's your position? What's your like religious / I don't know. Are you
I'm
also
an
an
agnostic atheist. Now, I'm going to thank a few people real quick. Felicia, thank you so much for the
you need
$40
both.
on PayPal. Thank you so much for my favorite greedy liberal grifter, who's also a communist.
Greedy.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Felicia. They said this guy's just salty that you're getting paid. I know, right? He's so salty. And Matt, thank you for the dollar. Ian,
It
thank you for the
definitely
$3.
upsets me,
Thank you
yeah.
so much, Ian. Timothy, thank you for the $10 for world's smallest conservative.
Bro, what?
Zachary,
What?
thank you so much. I really appreciate the
That's
$5.
fucking
Thank you
weird,
so
dude.
much.
That's
I
fucking
really
weird.
appreciate it. Thank you so much, Zachary. Thank you for the $5. Thank you. Benjamin, thank you so much for the dollar. Alexa, thank you so much for the $25. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Alexa. Give me some W's for Alexa in the
God,
comment
bro,
section.
I'm
Corinne, thank you so
so
much for the
broke.
$10. Amra, thank you so much. I really
Such a
appreciate it. Thank you for the
broke
$10.
child.
Melody with the
Such a
$5.
child.
Libby, thank you for the $10 for more theft. Kara, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $5. Thank you so much. I know, it's honestly great. Thank you so much, Kara. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Give some W's for them in the comment section. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. And if you want to piss off Thorkus even more, type out Thorkus in the comment section right now.
On
Really
God, if you
appreciate
guys
it,
do
everyone.
that,
Thank
on
you
God,
so
if you guys
much.
do that,
Creed,
no,
thank you for the
I'm
$2. I
gonna
really
do that.
appreciate it. Thank you so much. Maze, thank you for the $15. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Maze. I really appreciate it. Thank you. As well as Madison, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $5. Thank you so much. Spizzy, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $7 for Parker. Stop stealing my money. Joda, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Jennifer, thank you for the $2. And Joda again with the $5. I really appreciate it. Thank
Shout
you.
out Cookie King. Shout out Clavicular. Shout out my uncle.
What are you doing this for?
I don't know, dude. I could be at the function right now, but I'm debating you.
You're not really debating right now. You're kind of just getting dog walked.
You're not, bro. You're honestly like a narcissist, bro. Like,
Okay. Hey, Thorkus, you said I'm a narcissist. Can you tell me why you think I'm a narcissist?
because you have like a disgusting level of self-confidence, even when you're wrong.
You said. Wait, say that one more time.
You have a filthy level of confidence, even when you're wrong.
Dude, that says you. You came on the live saying you're the highest IQ conservative, Thorkus. Chill out.
Who's higher IQ?
When Maze asked you, by the way, if you ever wished that you were tall.
I'm 6'6", Chad. I'm 6'6".
No,
Maybe
you're
6'7", 6'7". Did someone say 6'7"? Yeah, I'm 6'6", Chad, and I look good. It's like what?
If you cringed, type 3 in the comment section. If you just cringed,
if
type
you
3 in the comment
if you
section.
think I look good, type 2.
And if you think he looks bad, type 3.
Wait. Fuck, dude. Oh, there's a 2. I saw one.
Dude, I don't even know if I see it too.
I think Phoenix said it too. Thank you, Phoenix. Shout out. Oh,
Great,
look,
thank you for the $1 for does he wish he was strong?
250 bench, by the way. 250. I don't squat though. That's a
what?
That's
250
a,
what?
Pounds. I think I use kilos. I'm an American.
Nah, bro.
Oh, 250, bro. Bench press, bro. And I look good, bro.
Joseph, thank you for the $5 for Parker. Please Parker, tell the guest to go find some function. By the way, 3.
Should I go to the function? Chat.
Yeah, leave us alone, please.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go to the function. I'll see you guys later. Parker,
You're not going anywhere. You're gonna be watching my stream in an hour. How much you want to bet?
No, imagine. No, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna get.
Thank you for the $5. Thank you.
Hold on. Chat. At the function, should I rejoin?
Yeah, wait. Get me any MAGA to debate there. I'll debate any MAGA.
Oh my god, dude! The clips. Parker debates frat MAGA bro at the function, and then I'll be in there too. So
I mean, you are a MAGA frat bro. I bet you're in a frat too. Thorkus, I've dunked on you every single time. Parker, get a job. Dog walks Thorkus, the terrible low IQ conservative MAGA debater.
He's gonna go bathroom watch at the function.
What?
I don't even know what that means. No, I'm reading chat.
Christina, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. For more like 250 grams. TBH. Kyle, thank you so much for the $5. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And Zachary with the $5 as well. Thank you so much. Alrighty, Thorkus, get the fuck off my live. You're a waste of time.
Alright,
Embarrassing. He literally still has yet to actually like do research on any of the points, by the way. He's still in the same position he was. Alrighty, let's go on the next individual again, everybody. Oh my gosh, chat. There's two individuals in the box. Guess who's in the box, everyone? It's two individuals known very well, actually. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 18. Stop fucking ducking Byron, bro.
I'm not ducking anyone. What's your birth year?
2008.
You're not even 18. Nice math, bro. You're ducking in education and basic math. Brock and Gage, yeah, it's Gawk. Gawk is in the comments in the box. Yeah, are they? Yes. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm not American.
Alrighty. Let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. Again, everyone, we are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Free WD-40. WD-40 for everyone.
Tyler, thank you so much for the $50. Thank you so much on Venmo for elevating for our sins. Thank you so much. Can we get some W's for Tyler in the comment section right now? Thank you so much. I love elevating for everybody's sins. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Adam, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Good to see you as always, Adam. What the fuck? Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. Again, everyone, we are just looking for some debates. Everyone. Let's get the next individual up here. Monkey, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you. Diabolical, I tell you. Let's go on to the next individual, everybody. Do give it a second for people to join up. Sometimes it takes a second to get people up here. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. Let's try to get to 1 million likes here on TikTok. And if you're on YouTube again, hit that thumbs up, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I was born in 2007.
Okay, and if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
I would vote for Donald Trump.
And how old are you?
I'm 18.
Okay, and why do you support Donald Trump?
Because he's a conservative.
Okay, what about him being conservative?
I just mainly lean right.
Like on what?
On abortion, on immigration, on objectively everything.
Okay. What about abortion and immigration?
I believe abortion should be illegal.
Okay. And why is that?
Because it's a human.
Okay. Do you think it's murder to pull the plug on an individual in your family that's brain dead?
No.
But they're biologically alive and of the human species.
But their brain isn't alive, and they don't have the potential to come back.
So prior to a brain existing, would you be okay with abortion?
No, because that brain's in development. It has a chance to work.
So would you be okay with killing zygotes that are cellularly alive that aren't developing yet?
What is that?
A zygote is a single cell conception, or single cell organism at conception, at fertilization, and prior to implantation, it's not developing. Therefore, you'd be okay with murdering it, under your own view. Because again, it's not developing yet. You said once it's developing it's valuable.
Yeah.
But if it's not developing, it's not valuable.
Yeah, so before development, it's not valuable. I'd agree with that.
Okay, so you think it's totally justified to kill humans? Because they're cellularly alive and they can have subjective experience and experiences in the future, but yet you're saying it's okay to kill them.
Wait, are you trying to say abortion's bad or good?
No, I'm using your own argument against you. Under your own view, you're saying it's okay to kill humans.
If it's just like a little thing that doesn't think or speak.
Oh, okay.
Like it doesn't think,
Okay, so
or
prior to
it
sentience, it
doesn't
doesn't
cry,
think
it
or
doesn't
speak.
talk, it
Yep.
doesn't.
Yep. Prior to sentience, that doesn't happen. Therefore, you think it's
Yeah.
okay before 20 through 24 weeks because, again, they don't cry, they don't speak, they don't think.
But they have a heartbeat.
Okay. But so does a branded individual. They have a heartbeat as well.
Well, yeah, but they don't have the they can't come back from that. Like they're
Come
dead.
back in terms of
They
what?
might as well be dead because they might as well are.
Okay, so then let me
have
ask you this
already
question. So
died.
abortion prior to a heartbeat is justified?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you think it's okay to kill it even though it's developing?
It's not developed yet. It
It
doesn't.
wait,
Even,
but it's
it doesn't even have a
developing.
brain.
But it's developing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you think it's okay to kill it while it's developing?
No.
Oh, okay. So then what's your actual argument here? It seems like you don't even know it yourself.
What do you mean?
It seems like you don't even know what argument you're holding to yourself. Because you just said it was totally okay to get an abortion prior to heartbeat, but then now you're saying it's wrong because it's developing. So is it valuable when it doesn't have a heart? Then why'd you appeal to it having a heartbeat earlier to say that it had value because of that?
I think it's valuable because it has the potential.
Oh, okay. So then so does a zygote at conception, yet you said it wasn't murder to kill it.
Okay, then I'll take that back.
So you do think it's murder to kill a zygote at conception? But you just claimed it wasn't a big deal because it's just a single cell organism. Like, who cares, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So does it matter or does it not matter? Which one is it?
It does.
It does matter? Okay, so do you think IVF should be banned?
What is IVF?
In vitro fertilization. And through that process, they discard many zygotes and embryos in that process. Do you think that they should go to jail for murdering those zygotes and embryos because they discarded them?
No.
No? Okay, but now it's not murder to kill zygotes?
It depends. Like, are you talking about the zygotes that can't they be bad? Like, they have the potential to just die.
Oh, so you're saying if it's not viable, then you don't care about it?
Like, if it's gonna die, yeah.
Oh, okay, so then it's okay to get an abortion prior to viability because it's just going to die outside of the womb.
Well, if it's gonna die, yeah. If it's gonna 100% just die, yeah.
Yep.
If it's gonna die immediately, it should go.
Yeah. Yeah. So prior to viability, abortion is justified. So then you support Roe versus Wade. So you actually agree with Kamala Harris's policy, not Trump's, because Trump put people in the Supreme Court with the explicit reason of overturning Roe versus Wade.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Okay. So what is the reason why you support Trump? Because it's clearly not abortion.
Think for a sec. Wait. I mean, he didn't let like 10 million illegals into the country.
10 million undocumented immigrants? Well, did you know that proportionally speaking, like the total population of undocumented immigrants in the country is 11 to 14 million? So how could 10 million come in if the total population is 11 to 14 million?
Are those all like confirmed document? Like that's every single one of them? How do you count every single one of them?
Oh, so now you're saying we don't have justified numbers on people coming to our country because we can't do it based on estimates? Because we didn't count every single person coming to our country, so how do you know that there were 10 million people that came to our country? Did you count them?
No. No, I did not.
I thought you just said I thought you just said that we have to count them in order to know. I'm sorry, I'm just using your own statements against you, and you don't like it.
Wait, no, it's you're doing a really good job. Yeah. It says claims of 10 million or more allowed and often referred to U.S. Customs.
What'd you say?
It says I searched it up. It says claims of 10 million.
Yeah, claims of 10 million. There's no evidence of that. There's no even actual sources that justify that. It's just claims.
It's just okay. So what's the realistic number
of the amount of people that could have come?
Yeah.
It's gonna be it's gonna be between 4 to 7 maximum.
4 to 7 million.
Yeah, and there's
illegal
even
immigrants?
evidence to indicate even less than that.
How is there evidence? You just said there's no evidence, but then there's evidence.
Yeah, I said that there's estimates that indicate even less than that.
Oh, there's estimates. Oh, sorry. But yeah, they're still illegal.
What?
They're still illegal immigrants.
Okay, and what's wrong with that?
They're undocumented.
Okay, so you're saying a violation of the law is an issue? So do you have an issue with the Trump administration violating the law to deport them by undermining their due process rights to a greater extent?
Well, yeah, if they do it the wrong way, then that's also their fault. But the left was doing nothing to deport illegals. Like
yeah, they were. The Biden-Harris administration was deporting people.
How many did they deport?
They deported millions of people.
Are you sure they deported millions of people?
Mm-hmm.
It says 2021 removal and return time administration 2.6 million. 51 of those were arrested. Yes, there was millions. Okay.
Yeah, I have this a title right here. Biden carried out the highest level of deportation since 2014. A new report says.
What is that article from? Like what? Who made that?
They get it from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
Okay. How many illegal immigrants has Trump deported so far?
I think the number's like 500,000, something like that. And over 70% of people detained in ICE custody have no prior criminal record. Only 5% have a violent criminal offense.
Well, are they illegal?
I'm talking about people who are detained by ICE.
Yeah, so they are illegal.
Yeah, undocumented immigrants that are detained by ICE. 73%
So they did
have
commit
no
a crime,
prior criminal
just
offense.
not a violent crime.
What's that?
They just committed a crime, not a violent crime.
No, they have no prior criminal offense. I'm saying prior to coming into the country undocumented.
In their country of origin?
Yeah, like they hadn't committed no crime. And also even in the United States while they were here.
You know, that doesn't make much sense.
What doesn't
I
make
would
much
think
sense?
there should be if they're illegal, they should should register to be legal in the United States. That's kind of stupid. Yeah.
Okay, so they should be given a pathway to citizenship where they don't have to leave the country so that they can register to be legal?
Yeah, I would say that.
Okay, so you disagree with Trump's position on immigration as well. You actually agree more with Democrats. Why? Because they still deported people. They just disproportionately deported people who have violent crimes and bad crimes to a higher extent comparative to the Republican Party. Plus, they didn't violate people's due process rights to a greater extent. So it sounds like you agree with the Democratic position to a greater extent on immigration and abortion. Now, what specific position, in terms of Donald Trump's policy, do you agree with him more than the Democrats?
Well, I would still say the abortion part. I would say people abuse abortion.
Yeah, but you said it should be legal prior to viability because they're not viable.
No, yeah, but well, yeah, never mind. I would agree with you on that. Yeah.
Okay, so then under your view, what is the reason why you support Trump over Kamala Harris, if you could go back in time with the information that you have right now, given that both immigration and abortion, you actually agree with Democrats more on?
On what I've learned so far right now, I would have probably gone back and not voted. Because I still don't support many of Kamala's things. I feel like I'm on neither side.
Okay. So, I mean, I would recommend to keep watching these live streams. Maybe I can convince you on those points, but at least the point of this live stream is to convince you that you shouldn't support Donald Trump. So I appreciate you coming up.
All right. Thank you.
Alrighty, let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. Ashley, thank you for the $10. And for the $25, thank you so much, Ashley. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Kelly with the $15. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And Adam with the Patrick Prezi. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Go to W's for Adam in the comment section. Good to see you as always, man. Let's go on to the next individual here real quick. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen, everybody. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Sir, you just drop off a vehicle? Okay, where'd you put it?
Okay, let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Again, only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 24.
Do you support Donald Trump?
So yes, for the most part.
Okay, and if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
I would definitely vote more conservatively.
Okay, and I have a question. What's your birth year?
It is 2001,
Okay, what month?
July.
Okay, and why do you support Donald Trump?
Just, I mean, for the most part, on a lot of the things that he has talked about wanting to change and being a part of supporting church views.
Such as?
Being pro-life, being supportive of the American family, and putting Americans first.
Okay, America first and pro-life. Okay, can you name one policy of Trump's that is America first that you like?
Definitely wanting to prioritize taking illegal immigrants out of our country. Just kind of the stuff that happened with in Raleigh and that kind of stuff.
Okay, so undocumented immigrants are multiple times less likely to commit violent crime, drug crime, property crime in the country comparative to natural-born U.S. citizens. So deporting them doesn't actually make anyone safer. So how is that America first?
So with that statistic, there's obviously going to be more Americans in America versus illegal immigrants. So of course they're going to be less likely to commit violent crimes than Americans that are in the country, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, this is taking into account population.
Okay. Well, I think that my viewpoint on that is that Americans should be the priority, and if anybody in our country is breaking the law, we should hold them to that law, out of respect for our country and for the people within it.
Okay, then you wouldn't vote for Donald Trump because the reason why he wasn't put in prison for breaking the law is because you guys elected him for president. So you wouldn't have voted for a convicted criminal, which ensures that he's not held accountable or put in prison for the crimes that he's committed, the 34 felonies that he was convicted of.
Okay, but also too, we have to look at, so the argument you can make it on same with Biden, with all the stuff that he ended up charging him with.
Biden wasn't convicted of a crime.
Okay, more specifically, which crime are you talking about?
Yeah, the falsification of business records in the first degree, which is a Class C felony in the state of New York because of a predicate crime, meaning he committed this crime in furtherance of another on, and it counts as 34 felonies that he committed.
Okay. Also, too, we're talking about an American citizen comparing them to somebody who shouldn't be in our country.
Yeah, you just said anyone who commits a crime should be held accountable, and I gave you an example of someone. Now you're saying that you don't want to hold them accountable?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
So we should have held Trump accountable, correct?
I mean, yes, I will say that we should have held him accountable.
And how
But
do
at
you
the
hold him
same
accountable
time,
if you vote for him? Because that ensures that he wasn't held accountable.
okay, so also to like looking at the scope of America and trusting the judicial system and that and how all of that played out.
If you trusted the judicial system, one, you'd trust the conviction against Donald Trump, and you'd trust the fact that he was held civilly liable of forcibly penetrating E. Jean Carroll's vagina against her will, because a unanimous decision of 9 people in a jury indicated that Trump did this. And then if you do believe that he did this, why do you still support him given that he did this?
So I'm not gonna say I don't know whether or not he did it or not. So
You trust the court system,
I
right?
just don't. Yes, but also too, you have to take into account that he is a politician, and a lot of the stuff that these women stated were after he started running for presidency. So,
That
like,
doesn't
a
mean that
lot
they're
of
false.
no, I'm not saying that that means that they're false by any means, but what I'm saying is that there is a sense of irony with the timing that they did that versus when they actually said it occurred.
So do you believe all the victims that came out prior to him running for president?
I haven't, like, to be completely and 100% honest, I haven't looked at each individual one. I've just looked at, I'm trying to think of her name. I looked at one of them, and it was, honestly, I quit reading it because, I mean, what she was stating, there was a lot of broken pieces in it, and just her timing of it, and then also too, like, there was a lot of other things that she could have been trying to get out of it other than just justice.
Okay, so just because there could be other things doesn't mean that's true. Do you believe the
No, I'm not
pathological
saying that.
liar that cheated on every single one of his wives, or the 26 plus people that have accused him of sexual misconduct? Do you think every single one of the victims is lying? Pershity, you're amazing.
That argument doesn't hold up because, like I said before, they waited. The timing in which they waited makes it hard to even judge that situation. This isn't an easy, like, case you're talking about.
It is.
It's not
It is.
black and white.
Timing doesn't indicate that this didn't happen. For many victims, it takes decades to come out because of the society that we live in. Even when you hold your abuser accountable in a civil court, people still believe that you're lying and bullshitting. So, like, that's the reason why people don't come out right away. And the argument you're kind of making here reinforces that, because you're not believing them just because they didn't come out. But they didn't come out because of the society where people don't believe them, regardless of whether or not they prove it.
Okay.
Okay, and I would just say that, again, based on your argument, not only would you believe everyone that came out prior to him running for president, Push the Galaxy, thank you so much, but also it wouldn't be reason to say that, again, a pathological liar who's cheated on every single one of his wives is more trustworthy than the 26 people that have accused them of sexual misconduct. I think that it's very likely that the 26 people are telling the truth, or at least one of the people of the 26 individuals are telling the truth. Incredibly likely. And if it was just true in one of these circumstances, well, that's a reason to not support him, right?
I mean, I think that we have to look at it in a state of, like, we don't know for sure. We really don't. And it's just something that, and what I can trust is the different policies that he has supported, and I can, because those are concrete things. He has supported those, and those are things I do know for certain.
Okay, so do you believe the victims of Epstein?
I mean, absolutely. I understand what you're saying.
Couldn't the same
in
things that you're
terms-
referencing also be true about Epstein? Because they didn't come out right away. He was very rich. There could be other intentions behind this.
I mean, but there was other sketchy things that were found. There was, and I don't know the complete details of Epstein because I haven't done.
Like how Trump was friends with
full-length
Epstein, how he said that he was a terrific guy and he likes beautiful women as much as he does, many of them on the younger side, where it was claimed specifically within the emails that he knew everything that was happening and that he was worse than all the different people that the convicted child sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein knew.
Okay, so something that I will say is I'm not supporting the fact that Trump is some type of moral compass or some type of person to necessarily be looked up to. He's a politician, and most politicians are not people that you want to follow in terms of they've followed. I mean, in order to be a politician, politicians lie, they cheat, they do all the things. So this is just to look at him and take a microscope between specific things that he's done versus look at the policies that he's put in place, the things that he's promised and come through with in terms of a business scenario within our country. And I think that he's so far, I mean, like I said, I'm willing to be proven wrong even, but I just seem like even with, immigration and everything, that he's fallen through. He's taken Americans and prioritized them over illegal immigrants.
Okay, so there's a few things here. One is that politicians lying and cheating is not justification for them lying and cheating. Just because it happens does not mean it should happen. Secondly, not all politicians have been held civilly liable of sexual abuse. Not all politicians were best friends with Jeffrey Epstein, said that he was a terrific guy, likes beautiful women as much as he does, many of them on the younger side. Not all politicians have sexualized their daughter. Not all politicians have called, or specifically said that, bragged about walking to the changing rooms of naked women while they're changing without their consent, where an 18-year-old came out and said there were 4 girls as young as 15 years old in these changing rooms. That's not applicable to most or even all politicians. So the argument here that you're making that because other politicians do bad things or people you shouldn't look up to means that it shouldn't be the case in this scenario, or that's a reason to overlook the things that Donald Trump has done is a ridiculous idea. Because again, we don't want that to exist within the context of our politics. Those aren't noble or good things. And if you want to look at Donald Trump's policy, not only is it not America first, it's specifically the rich first. Donald Trump, you wouldn't be able to mention a single policy that he influenced to get passed that benefit the average American more than to benefit rich people.
I mean, I think that a lot of the things that he's put in with the Beautiful Bill Act has actually been to support, middle class. I've read portions of that bill, and it just, what he's doing is doing things to lower taxes and to help, like I said, the middle class. So, I find that what you're saying is actually a little bit inaccurate with that in mind.
So the Big Beautiful Bill, most of the money went to the top 1%. So not only that, but it cuts over 10 million people off their access to health insurance, 2.5 million people off their access to food stamps on average every month, and over 420,000 children off of access to free school lunch and breakfast on average every single month. Hundreds of thousands of children cut off of free school lunch and breakfast on average every single month to give tax breaks that disproportionately go to the top 1%. Kamala Harris and the Democrats wanted to keep all the tax cuts applicable to income earners under $400,000 a year. And they wanted to extend things like the child tax credit and the housing tax credit to help reduce child poverty and help out families in need and help people buy houses, right? And again, they also supported the no tax on tips. They want to keep all of those deductions for, again, income earners that are below $400,000 a year. And all they wanted to do to pay for it is slightly increase the tax rate on income over $400,000 a year. Only on the income over $400K. So you understand that if you compare the tax plans of either administration, one, Donald Trump's plan is worse just looking at the base terms, but then also to tack on top of this, Donald Trump also supports tariffs. And that affects everyone because everyone buys consumer goods. And the issue with this is that not everyone currently is paying into our tax system right now through income tax, which is what is being reduced to the big beautiful bill. So if you don't make enough income in order to meet the standard deduction, you are going to be paying higher taxes because tariffs have been put in place that you would have otherwise not paid under a Harris presidency. So think about all the lower and middle income individuals that are going to be disproportionately negatively impacted because they didn't get the tax cuts they would have got under the Biden-Harris administration, and they have tax increases because of Donald Trump's horrible tariff policy that is also causing issues in terms of our labor market, in terms of employment, upward pressure on prices, slowing real GDP growth. It's making our relationships with our allies worse off. And it's destroying export businesses in the United States that rely on sending their products to other countries. And then also, it's not even helping out domestic manufacturers in this country because we've seen a decline in real domestic manufacturing investment since Trump got in office, after seeing a massive boom under the Biden-Harris administration. So in practically every way we could point to, the economy is worse off right now because of Donald Trump's policies.
So with tariffs, well, so first, he's used tariffs as like a negotiation tactic, but also too, it has helped American businesses because they're able to be the first to be thought about because it's going to be more expensive to get something that isn't in America. So they have helped in that sense, but also too, that tariff money he has said within the beautiful bill for like adding to it. So this will be effective in July, if I'm correct, and I could be incorrect in this, but just from the stuff that I've been researching, that this is going to go back to our farmers, and that is actually a really good thing because if it going back to our farmers, meaning our produce and our groceries, this is helping those grocery bills. Now you're not going to see that right away. That's going to take time because in time is when those types of all that money comes back. But having the priority of us having not having our American farmers being supported with tariffs and stuff like that, that's super important, and that's what continues to grow and support homegrown veggies and produce. But yeah, and tariffs, yes, they've made things expensive, but we also we aren't bound to that. I mean, you can choose to get around having to. I mean, of course, groceries are still high, but they were high before tariffs came around, and I mean, there's a lot of things that the tariff itself will later on help affect. It's not going to be something we're going to see immediately. And yeah.
Okay. There's a few things here. Again, the tariffs have not helped us because the money that is going to farmers, not only is that coming from American consumers who are paying it, but it's also in situations in which the farmers have been negatively impacted because the tariffs have been imposed. And they're not even recouping all that they've lost. For many farmers, they went out of business, they couldn't pay their employees, they didn't have the ability to even sell their products because they relied on selling their products to countries around the world that have imposed tariffs on us because we impose tariffs on them, which is a trade war. So it's disenfranchised farmers in this country. So this money is to help out farmers that have already been disenfranchised. They wouldn't have been disenfranchised if the tariff wasn't put in place in the first place. So this is not going to help grocery bills. It's only made them worse. It's made them more expensive. And we are bound by that because it imposes greater prices across the entire market, because when it reduces the supply of goods that are coming from countries around the world, it's going to increase the cost of those goods, given that supply has gone down while demand has stayed the same, which means that there's the same amount of people that are looking for that good. There's just less people who are providing that good, meaning that it's going to cost more to buy each individual good because there's less of that good to make up for the fact that there are that many people demanding or looking for that good. And then it's not going to help in the long run because it slows GDP growth. it actually doesn't help out domestic manufacturers because it causes an increase in the materials that they rely on in order to produce goods in this country, because not everything is produced in the United States. Like a third of the materials come from countries around the world, and that causes an increase in the price when you're getting less of those goods from countries around the world because there's an increased cost of trade between countries.
That so what you're saying is with the assumption that the tariffs won't ever change, and I and like I said, I could be completely wrong at some point, and I'm willing to be wrong, but like I think that over time, negotiation, and also us like learning how to get around the obstacle of tariffs,
Then the
they
tariff
will
wasn't
even
effective,
change.
right?
No, I think that they're so. I don't believe in. Like I said, I could be wrong, but like, I don't think that the ultimate goal for him utilizing the tariffs were for them to be a permanent thing to be in place, but just a temporary way to negotiate, and also a way to, help, help our own farmers be the priority over, farmers on things overseas and stuff.
So tariffs didn't do that. It harms our farmers because they rely on selling their products to other countries around the world. It's not just the United States that they sell their products to. So it harms their consumer base. Think if less people are demanding your good, you have less negotiation power for how much you're going to sell it. And then in terms of the permanence of the tariffs, if they're not permanent, then how are they going to be positively impactful in the long run because of the imposition of the tariff? That doesn't seemingly make sense. And if they're just for negotiations, well, then the issue here is that, again, he's doing that based upon negotiations we've already had, like through the USMCA, alongside the fact that, again, the negotiations he has done, like for example with Switzerland, he did just for a gold bar and a Rolex clock. So he reduced the tariff not because it benefit Americans, but because it benefit him, and he got a gift from it.
What? Just out of curiosity, because I haven't heard about the whole Rolex thing. Where was like what source did you get that from?
Which claim?
The Rolex.
The Rolex
And
clock?
the-
I mean, this was reported
yes.
on across the entire media. You could find this from AP News, NPR, PBS, Reuters. You could find this from literally any source.
And when did this happen?
This was within the past month.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense if it was the last month. Okay.
Yeah, so like again, under this idea, it doesn't really seem like we got much from Trump's economic policy, and I would argue that you're worse off because of this. Most Americans are worse off because of this. This is not America first, it's the rich first. So I hate the phrasing that they use, and I think that Democrats honestly need to adopt this phrasing because I think that they actually are America first.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. So my mindset is, small government, big church. Like that would be my ideal, like America. And just in terms of like, I know that like we talked about this a while back, not to like keep going over certain things, but like
if churches were going to provide for everything, why aren't they doing that now?
They are. I mean, they don't. I don't.
They
think
are?
that
Really? I don't think that's
Yes.
true. Not even close.
Absolutely. So I don't think that.
So churches take care of everyone's medical debt and everyone's medical bills who need it, and churches are feeding everyone that need it. Churches are housing everyone that need it. No, that's not true. We know that's
No,
not true.
so-
There's nothing limiting churches from doing this right now.
Hold on. Because so what you have to think about here is one, you have to at least be a part of the community. People who aren't part of a community in some way or whatnot, it's hard for you to like ask. It's hard for you to get help when no one knows it. Okay, but also too,
Wouldn't the government have a greater ability to know it than churches? Couldn't we find community through the government? Couldn't government provide that community?
I think that's incredibly unhealthy. Just because humans, we're wired to need community and
Yeah.
to need
So
others.
why can't government facilitate that community?
I think that I just don't find that to be healthy for a
Really? How is
person.
that unhealthy?
Because I think it's good for some, because the government cannot connect with people, and because like people don't just need financial help, they need
The
emotional help, they
government
need
can
mental
create
help.
community. That's just not true. The government does create community.
Well, it doesn't do a good job of it. I
Public
mean,
schools are funded by the government, correct? Is that
they
community
are.
funded by the
So
government? Is that
do
not a community center funded by the government?
it is a community center funded by the government, but do you not think that there are broken pieces within the school system and the education system?
Of course, and I think that we need to fix
Okay.
those and address those. But you understand that that doesn't mean that we can't create community, right, through the context of government. And just because there has been unhealthy aspects of it doesn't mean that those unhealthy aspects are caused necessarily by the government. There are mechanisms we could use with the government to be able to address those. But that's all going to be fixed from within the context of utilizing the government, because we do know that the government increases access to this community in terms of education. And that's why we support it, because it's important for our democracy. It's important for people to develop skill sets and specialization. It's important for a well-functioning and meaningful society. It helps people in terms of social mobility. There are so many benefits from education, right, in that community being provided through the government, that if it were just left up to private companies or private businesses and private churches, that they wouldn't be able to satisfy the needs of everyone in the population. The government has an ability to satisfy the needs of everyone, but right now it is not set up to do so.
Well, I've just seen a lot of like abuse of that, and also too, like, it's really hard to dissect problems when the government is holding like the remote, if you will. Just within like management, I mean, I've worked within the school system, and I've worked within nonprofit organizations who do help people, and I've seen a lot of really good things come from a lot of really good nonprofit organizations who do help, and they don't market that they help because it's just that isn't the priority, and the mission is the marketing of like, hey, we're doing this and we're doing that for the good of those people, but just trying to find more people, and they're busy doing what they're supposed to versus marketing and like trying to tell everybody, marketing that.
Watch this.
And then
Have there been churches that have abused the funds given to them?
oh, absolutely. I think that you can.
Then can I ask you this question? Does that mean that church necessarily abuses the funds you give to them?
Church as a whole?
Yeah. Like in every instance.
I think that's an unfair statement, only because all churches
why is it unfair if it's a church but not a government that we're referencing?
Because there's so many churches that believe so many different things. And
there's so many governments that believe so many different things.
The exact reason why the government doesn't need to be the one that's helping and supporting people, because that's incredibly unhealthy.
Well, I could say the same thing about church.
Well, absolutely, if you're looking at it from a broad perspective.
Yeah, so who's to say that the church would be better at dealing with it than the government? I would say that the church has access to lesser amounts of resources, so it would be harder for them to address the concerns of the public than it would be for us from a governmental standpoint. That's why I think that the government is so important for this, because it can solve problems that we would not be able to on an individual basis without government. Genuinely, it's so much harder to address problems without government. We have become so accustomed to how much government helps our life that we don't even think about how much it's impacting and benefiting our lives in the manners in which it is, because it's been so normalized how it's been used.
So I think that a healthy church will have a healthy amount of people that are supporting it and a part of it, to a place where it will be able to grow. And part of that growth will be community outreach and helping people. And like I said, it's not just helping them financially, but it's being able to have the people to sit down with them and to care about them and to actually know their name and who they are and what they're going through and walk with them in that. And I think that's just as important as a financial assistance would be, like the government gives.
I'm sorry, that exists right now. People can go to church, and that doesn't provide help for everyone. And also, why do you have to conform to a certain religion in order to be able to just get the help? Because I'm not religious. I'm not going to just randomly believe religion without any reason to do so. And that's
No,
true
and
for
I
plenty
don't.
of other people. What about people who have my belief system? What happens to them?
I don't think.
What can they
I'm
rely
not
on?
saying. So hold on one second. So I don't think that you should necessarily have to believe in a church, but my beliefs are, and we're going off of each other's beliefs here, is that I support a big church and a small government because I believe that the church handles people, and especially people who are struggling and hurting and all these things, the best, because it supports them emotionally and financially in a healthy way, and because
I think that's
look at even
I'm not trying to be rude here, but that's a laughable statement to say that church is able to help people more than the government. That's absurd. It is radically absurd.
and that's your
You
belief,
cannot
but
justify that
even
argument.
like even if you look at AA, like most AA organizations, they teach a very similar thing. That even like there's a
No, but
lot of
like if you just
scriptural
look at the level of
based.
proportionalities here, at what church does versus what the government does, you can't make a comparison. It's not even close because the government has significantly greater access to resources than a church does. So even if the church is the most well-meaning church that's ever existed, it doesn't have the capacity to have the same influence and benefit to society as the government can. And this is why I'm saying that it's important for the government to be big enough in circumstances where it's needed, right, in terms of being able to help the population. I'm not saying big government within every aspects of our lives. I believe in small government in plenty different scenarios, but it should be big government in feeding children. It should be big government in providing people access to healthcare. It should be big government in being able to establish a baseline for everyone within our community to ensure that everyone is taken care of. Okay, that's where government should be. Now, where should government not be? Government shouldn't be restricting people's access to abortion. Government shouldn't be limiting from consenting adults being able to marry each other. Government shouldn't be restricting people from getting access to basic things that they need, right? The government should be providing community, education, and a baseline for all. That's what the government should be doing. So your idea is that the government in some circumstances do bad things, right? That means that the government overall, right, is always going to do bad things. And this is what's called a composition fallacy. You're saying because some parts of it operate a certain way, that means all parts of it operate the same way. And I'll give you an example. For example, trees are made up of atoms. Atoms are not visible to the human eye, right? Just by looking at it directly, like the naked human eye, right? Does that mean that trees are not visible to the human eye? No, just because atoms are a part of trees does not mean that the whole of a tree operates the same way as one part of it does. So you understand that you can't make a prescription just based upon how parts of government work to make a claim about how government overall should work. It's not an argument that government should be small in all instances just because it's bad within some respects. Right? You'd have to justify in each circumstance, each context, why you think government should or shouldn't be used, right, to create a better set of circumstances.
So I definitely I see what you're saying, but at the same time, so one, abortion should not be legal in my eyes. Like I said, I'm absolutely pro-life, and I haven't seen an argument that's proved to me that it doesn't come from a very prideful place, and yeah.
Okay, I have a few things here. You're pro-life, and let me tell you why you can't support Trump if you're pro-life. Okay?
Okay.
Would you
Absolutely.
support Trump if he called for the execution of some Democrats?
He hasn't.
If he did this, would you still support him for president?
No, I wouldn't support that.
No, you wouldn't? Well, he actually did do this. He called for the execution of some Democrats because they said to not follow unlawful orders. He reposted someone saying HANG them, George Washington would.
Okay, yeah, I don't follow his like rage bait stuff, and I don't approve of a lot of the stuff he puts on Twitter and all that.
So you'll still
I
support him even
strictly
if
look
he
at
engages in
policy.
death threats on Twitter?
I mean, like I said, you could look back at like your argument with like just like government in and of itself and how like I said.
Wait, but so would you support him if he engaged in death threats on Twitter?
So, what someone posts on Twitter and is no, I'm not. I won't even get into that because like at the end of the day, like it's all just crazy.
Is it pro-life to support a president that calls for death threats for his political opponents on Twitter?
But here's the thing: Kamala doesn't support pro-life. Kamala.
Well, I just want to let you know, pro-life is saying that people should have restricted access to abortion, right? It's not saying that you necessarily are anti-abortion, right? Because there are individuals who are anti-abortion, against abortion, but they think it should be legal, right? So, like, you could be against abortion while simultaneously saying that people should have legal access to basic health care.
But abortion isn't basic health care.
It is. It actually absolutely is. Because there's risks associated with pregnancy that someone should not have to undergo for a non-sentient embryo, right? Those are risks to someone's body, especially if they've already had kids before and they don't want to have another kid, right? Which is the context for a lot of people who have abortions. That is a medical determination that they should be able to make. That's basic health care for them.
So I think that it is important to look at it in the sense of if someone doesn't want to get pregnant, then there is multiple other things that you can do where you don't have to have an abortion. The idea that we have to have an abortion as a woman is
have
false.
To have access, yeah. I think you have to have access, for a better society, yeah.
I disagree, and I'm willing to agree to disagree there. Why should women not have abortions? Or I'm sorry, what are you asking?
Yeah, why are you saying it's preferable that people do not have access to abortion?
Because I think that abortion it's killing a human life.
Okay. So, like, I have a question then. Do you think it's murder to pull the plug on an individual in your family that's brain dead?
So that is absolutely completely different. And the reason
but they're cellularly human life.
Right. But here's the thing. If you did not do anything, okay? You didn't pull the plug or anything, and you kept, just going on about life, their state would not change. If you did the same thing in the concept of just not having an abortion, they would change because...
Sorry.
No, you're okay. They would change because the woman would go through her term of pregnancy and have a baby, and it would then be a human life. So that you can't really look at... That's not apples and apples there, because the person who's brain dead will still be brain dead, but the woman who is pregnant will then soon have a child.
Well, it's the same based upon the quality that you were saying was valuable. The quality you said that was valuable was cellular life. Okay? It's present in the context of brain dead individuals. They still have cellular human life. So if cellular human life is the only thing in which you value in this context, then you would say it's murder to pull the plug on an individual in your family that's brain dead. But what I'm demonstrating to you is that you don't just care about cellular life. Could you appeal to cellular life in a future experience? Sure. But then I would ask you, why is it valuable prior to even having an experience in the first place? What's valuable about cellular life if you're going to say what's valuable in the future is potential experience?
Oh, absolutely. It's future experience. And it's looking at the quality of life there. I mean, if you don't pull the plug on a brain dead individual, their quality of life is not good. Like they're just there for someone's selfish need to want to have them on Earth.
Wouldn't it increase quality of life to have legal access to abortion? Especially because if you get an abortion prior to sentience, it doesn't affect the quality of life of any individual because you can't have a quality of life prior to an experience.
Actually, statistically, if you look at the women who have had abortions, the depression rates are higher, anxiety, stress, just there's so much that goes with it because
And,
there's a lot of
so
women.
I don't think that's true. I'd have to look at the source that you're looking at too. I
Yeah.
think the legal access to it is important for this because I do think that there would be an increase of those particular things that you're referencing if they're not if they're not able to get access to legal abortion, because you're not looking at the situations where people are forced to go through pregnancies in terms of a situation, in terms of like what would affect their mental health in that context. So I'd like to see a single piece of evidence that would point to that.
Okay, so when you say forced, so they're also like just so where there is like if a woman is there something emergency wrong with her, there is a procedure that's not an abortion that she can have that could potentially harm the baby, but that's not the preface of that is to take care of the mother. And that's not abortion. Like that's completely
what are you
different.
referencing?
I'm trying to think of what it's called. I don't know.
If you're talking about inducing labor, that's not going to happen until it's not going to lead to the life of the fetus until viability. And then if you're saying viability is what matters, then you're not understanding that that's at like 24 weeks or so. Also, one thing I would say here is that why are we concerned about, again, the quality of life of an embryo that if you had an abortion would never have a quality of life, rather than the quality of life of the individual that's pregnant?
I mean, and we could look at it like this. I'm concerned about all individuals' lives. Children who have like parents who live in poverty who can't don't have as much access to, to comfort within financial, seems like we shouldn't my whole mindset on that is a
So
woman
then wouldn't you want them to
shouldn't.
let them choose when they have kids then? Because then that would be better for their economic standing.
Well, and let's also remember too that they can choose. Like when you take away abortion, you don't take away the right to choose whether or not you get pregnant or not. Like getting pregnant isn't having COVID. Like you don't catch it.
I'm sorry. People are not going to just stop having sex, and you're essentially arguing that they should be abstinent.
I mean, and so hold on. One is it's definitely irresponsible to have sex, just especially when you're in a place where you can't afford to take on the consequences of what happens after sex.
Okay, so then you think it's irresponsible for every teenager that's ever existed?
So I think that yes, it is a parent's responsibility to teach them what it means to have sex, and it's absolutely
So
a
you
parent's
you think that people
responsibility.
shouldn't have sex until they can economically take care of a family?
Absolutely.
Okay, well I don't think that's realistic, like genuinely at all.
And I think that there's where we're different, because I think that we shouldn't, as a society, we shouldn't be so selfish. I think that we should think about the future of our kids and the
You
next
say
generations
that while
before.
supporting Donald Trump, who's actively cutting children off of free school lunch and breakfast on average every single month, to the degree of 420,000 children through the big beautiful bill.
So that doesn't have so we're veering off a little bit.
What is selfish here? I don't see it to be selfish for us to advocate that people should have their rights respected. I don't see it to be selfish to say that we should take care of children. I think what's selfish is to say that we should give massive tax breaks to people in the top 1%, most of the tax cuts in the big beautiful bill, the top 1%, while cutting people off their access to health insurance and food and basic things that they need in their life. I think it's selfish in that context.
And that is something I'm willing to agree to disagree on, because I think that we have to really reevaluate what selfish even means, when you put yourself before whatever else is going on. And that is exactly
wait, couldn't you say
what
the
that
same thing in
is.
this context? You're selfish for saying it should be illegal for people to get access to an abortion because you're basing your position on someone's on morality, on whether or not someone else should be able to get access to it. right? Couldn't that be deemed as selfish as well, especially because you're basing that off of your religious beliefs that not everyone believes in?
So, a society that thinks about others is definitely a good thing. So, I think that in and of itself should be a priority for sure.
I think
So,
we are
no, I
thinking
don't
about
think that that's.
others. I'm thinking about the pregnant individuals that are sentient, that are going to have a negative experience and negative things in their life and have higher risks of negative medical complications happening to them because they don't have legal access to an abortion. I care about the great victims in this country that have restricted access to abortion because Trump put people in the Supreme Court with the explicit reason of overturning Roe versus Wade. The children that have had to move states and go to different states just to be able to get access to basic health care that they need.
Okay, and like I said, it's a matter of your difference of opinion on moral complex. Like I find that the child that the woman will have one day is just as important and should be valued.
You said say that one more time?
The child that the woman will have, if abortion isn't legal, is just as valuable as the woman that you say that you're thinking about.
No, I don't think that the embryo is just as valuable as a pregnant individual. Let me ask you this question. If you're in a burning building and you could either save an adult woman or you could save a non-sentient embryo, which would you rather save?
That's not a situation that would ever happen. So that's not like an arguable.
It is.
Like,
It's just to
in
demonstrate
most
whether or not you would place
situations,
value.
I mean, in any it's not something that would happen. So it's not something that I could say that I would do this or I would do that because it wouldn't happen.
No, it doesn't have to happen in your life in order for you to be able to think about like what could
I
happen.
mean, in the state of
Like think about it this
how
way.
about this? How about this? If you have two people, okay, I'm listening. Sorry.
Yeah, think about it this way. Like if you're in a school and you're constructing a school in a certain way so that you could reduce the amount of school unalivings that could happen, like mass school unalivings, then it doesn't have to happen before you could think about how to construct a building around reducing the likelihood of this event happening.
Yeah, so
Oh my god, I don't know why.
That is
Dude,
something.
hold up one second. Can I
So
pause
go
real
back
quick?
to the original
Can I pause
question.
here? Can
No,
I pause
just
real
go
quick?
back to the original question.
Can I please pause you real
Yeah.
quick? Yeah. I'm having issues with my internet right now, and there's like a bunch of lag. I actually don't know how to fix it. I just wanted to tell the chat that I might have to hit a restart here in a second, everyone. Just because there's literally so much lag, and I don't know why it's doing this. I can't. It's so annoying that this happens middle of the stream. And I apologize, everyone. So hopefully it will come back in a second, but it looks like it's lagging on both YouTube and on TikTok. For some reason, the audio, people are saying the audio is fine, but I don't know what to do. I'm sorry. I might have to hit a restart here in a little bit just because there's a bit of lag. So, alrighty, you can continue.
Okay, sorry. So could you what was our original question that you had asked me?
It was about being pro-life. Do you think that it's pro-life to still support someone that actively undermines, right, not only people's lives in the context of, for example, off the coast of Venezuela with absolutely no evidence given to Congress that they had DRUGS, yet Trump thought it was justified to unalive them? Right, and also we could point to the fact that Donald Trump himself called for the execution of some Democrats. So I just was also going to ask you, like, how can you be pro-life while simultaneously believing and supporting in a person that believes that?
So I think that my whole preface here is to support the exact thing that he's standing for, and not like if you looked at any person and you dissected every little thing that they did, you would absolutely find reasons why you probably shouldn't support them anymore. And so I don't find that dissecting Donald Trump's life.
Oh, dude. Why does it have to do this, dude? Like, what the hell, man? Audio's fine? I'm sorry, everyone. I think I have to restart everyone on my internet. It's going to be a little bit. I apologize. This is so frustrating.